Hello and welcome, sports fans, to this live video streaming event of Table Rock Sports Productions. I'm Jonathan Kerman. Alongside me, Jonathan Mcnary. We are broadcasting live from North Medford High School in beautiful Medford, Oregon for the Rogue Valley Classic. Now, on the schedule, we are going to show you the two semifinals games and then the championship game from this silver bracket, but we have some bonus coverage as two Rogue Valley teams, the Cascade Christian Challengers and the Crater Comets, are facing off against each other. The winner of this game will advance to the semifinals to play against Mcnary. And so we're coming live now because, well, things are running a little bit behind schedule down on the courts, and we're here. We want to bring you all of the action, and we have local teams to do that. So we are going to bring you up to speed. A hard-fought set that the Crater Comets edge out over the Cascade Christian Challengers 27-25. And here we are in set number 2, 6-2, make it 7-2 in favor of the Comets after Tessa Froge gets a kill right there.
Yeah, big lead here for Crater, Jonathan. Dominated the first set. Cascade came back to make it close. We'll look to do the same here in this one.
And I believe, the Ashland Grizzlies team, little too spread out there on the right side of your screen.
A little close to the action.
And the officials doing this for player safety, of course, for everyone's safety in mind. And now we're ready to play some volleyball. Tessa Froge, the 5'7" junior, back to serve for the Comets. Crater on the right side of your screen, Cascade Christian on the left. The first touch for Cascade was Ali Modrell. There's a great spike by Cascade Christian's Kara Palmer, but it's handled by Crater. They send it over. Cascade Christian unable to recover. Point and possession Comets. The score is 8-2. You see on the John L. Scott scoreboard. Timeout called by the Cascade Christian Challengers, and so that gives me a chance to thank our wonderful presenting sponsor, Lithia Auto Superstores, and their general manager, Jason Lawrence. Lithia Superstores, located on Crater Lake Highway. You can also browse online at lithiasuperstore.com and then come in and work with the outstanding staff. Say hi and thank you to Jason Lawrence if you get a chance, to our title sponsor, Lithia Auto Superstore. Once again, you see on the John L. Scott scoreboard, Crater with a 27-25 victory in set number 1. They lead 8-2 in set number 2. Here at the Rogue Valley Classic, because we have so many teams playing and so many games being played by these teams. In fact, there was pool play all morning, starting before 10 a.m. And so, in the interest of time and player safety, these games are best of 3 sets, Jonathan. So, Crater, that all-important Game 1 victory, now just have to win one more game to advance to the semifinals. Cascade Christian, on the other hand, they have to run the table and win both of these next games if they want to advance to the semifinal round in the silver bracket. We are back playing volleyball.
Yeah, and so far Crater's been dominating the flow of this game.
Opportunity for Crater, but a good touch on the front line by Cascade Christian gives them an opportunity to respond. Crater able to recover. A diving stop by Ali Modrell. What a play for Cascade Christian. Here's the opportunity for Crater to respond at the net. Point awarded to Cascade Christian.
That makes it 3-8 in favor of Crater at the moment.
That was Taylor Cave back to serve for Cascade Christian. Here's Crater. A good first touch by Hannah Stanfeld for the Challengers, but an opportunity now for the Comets. Let's see what they do. Just a quick touch over by Madison Cosina. Terrific play on the front lines, and it's Crater that comes out with the point. Avery Hansen and Avery Young.
That's a name you'll hear mentioned many times today.
And a miscommunication on the Crater side leads to everyone standing and watching the ball hit the hardwood. Point and possession to the Cascade Christian Challengers.
And I was just about to say, Crater all the way up until that point. Great job on the front line today, being very disciplined.
Crater having some difficulty returning that pass. They do. First touch for Ali Modrell. A terrific spike by Cascade Christian, but an even better dig by Kylie Anderson. Great play on the front lines by both teams. Now Cascade Christian with a chance. The ball is up high in the air. Touch back and forth, and net violation going to be called against Avery Young for Crater. So Cascade Christian roaring back. It was 9-3 at one point. It's now 9-5.
Yeah, not calling it quits, just coming back into the game. Signs of life here.
Avery Young sends it over. Ali Modrell, another fantastic dig. Dives for another one, but it's in vain. Violation called on Cascade Christian. That will give the ball and the point to the Comets.
Making it 10-5.
First to 25, must win by 2 in bracket play.
And the best of 3 sets make for some exciting, quick volleyball here in tournament play.
A terrific diving stop by Millie Croy, but it's to no avail. Cascade concedes the point. Crater on top now 11-5, you see on the John L. Scott scoreboard. Kayana Woodard with the serve for the Comets. On the return, Hannah Stanfeld sends it over. A chance for Crater to respond. Nothing too challenging, and let's see what Cascade Christian does. The spike too strong off the hand of Maddie Strain for the Challengers. Point to Crater. Again, the winner of this game will go on to face Mcnary in the silver bracket semifinals. We will have both semifinals games for you right here on TableRockSports.net. As there's a miss hit by Cascade Christian, and Crater starting to pull away here, Jonathan.
Yep, after that surge by Cascade, we see Crater sticking to their game plan.
Woodard once again using all available floor space to wind up for that serve. Here's an opportunity for Cascade, but Crater able to corral it, and a terrific touch by Kendra Biddle. Just hit them where they ain't. That's exactly what she did. 13-5.
Maybe expecting a spike there.
You hear all the action going on. That's because there are 3 games happening concurrently here at North Medford High. And a wise decision, or was it, for Cascade Christian to let that ball go by? I believe, yes, it was. A wise decision by Ali Modrell and the Challengers to let that ball sail past. It goes past the back line, and that is a point to Cascade Christian. They now have the serve.
Yeah, good patience there, trying to chip away at this lead.
Maddie Schwartz, 5'7" senior, back to serve. Kayana Woodard, the first touch for Crater. A strong return off the hands of Millie Croy for Cascade. Just a push over and a perfectly placed push. Kayana Woodard celebrating in style. Certainly an unconventional kill, but a .1 nonetheless. Timeout has been called. Or correction, there you go, that's the game.
We will have a decision.
First to 15, and it's Crater who comes out on top. They defeat the Cascade Christian Challengers and will advance to the semifinals to take on Mcnary. Stick around, sports fans. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
Let's go!
At US Cellular, we heard you. You want a wireless plan that works for you. That's why we're giving you unlimited data for just $30 on a network ranked #1 in network quality performance. All that and no hidden fees. That's the best value in wireless. That work for you? US Cellular. Choose fair.
For the best deals in wireless on a network that works in the middle of anywhere, visit Siskiyou Cellular, your local US Cellular agent. 7 locations, including Central Point off Plaza Boulevard.
The Know Your Role campaign is incredible. incredibly needed and incredibly vital and important to establish boundaries, safe boundaries for children to play.
It's got to be a proactive culture where everybody enjoys the game.
At least creates awareness that some things need to change in order for the youth sports world and even actually the adult sports world to continue.
Knowing your role means that the parent, the coach, the referee, the fans, we all have a role.
Listen up, everyone. Listen up. You know that great deal got him a new car? This is the guy from Lithia who made it all possible, Carlos.
Hey, Carlos.
You want someone who's gonna take care of you and not just the dealership? My guy should be your guy.
Hola, Carlos.
But not for you, little sister. Thank you for coming.
Find your guy during Jeep Adventure Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford and on lithiasuperstore.com. Not a dealership, a partnership.
The days grow long, and the last school bell rings, calling you to pack a bag, grab the kids, and hit the road to that fabled land of green, where adventure drifts with you on the water and carries you through the trees. So let curiosity get the best of you and take the trail less traveled to Southern Oregon. Your journey begins when you travel Medford.
Welcome back, sports fans. Broadcasting live from North Medford High School in beautiful Medford, Oregon. My name is Jonathan Kerman. Alongside me, Jonathan Mcnary, and we are covering the Rogue Valley Classic Silver Bracket. Thank you all so much for joining us here on TableRockSports.net and making us a part of your Saturday afternoon. You just saw two Rogue Valley teams duke it out for a spot in the semifinals, and it was the Crater Comets who defeated the Cascade Christian Challengers in 2 sets, best of 3, and that is why Crater will move on to face off against Mcnary, who earned a first-round bye after their terrific pool performance earlier today. This broadcast is being broadcasted live on YouTube for free in HD because of our wonderful presenting sponsors, Jonathan, and tell us about one of them, please.
Bill's Glass, proud to be a sponsor of high school athletics. Bill's Glass has been the industry leader and clear choice in Southern Oregon for almost 50 years, covering the full spectrum of glass from your vehicle to any room in your house. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass. Great place to go if the unexpected happens.
And when you hear that crash,
think Bill's Glass.
Think Bill's Glass. Always a sign it's a good jingle if it sticks with you, like it certainly has with all of us here on TableRockSports.net. You do see there are multiple volleyball games going on at once. It is madness. It is mayhem. It is bedlam here at North Medford High School. We are going to bring you all of the action from court number 3. That is this court on the closest to the camera. And this is going to be the home for the Silver Bracket semifinals and championship games. A little bit ago, you just saw Cascade Christian fall to Crater. We'll also keep an eye on the Ashland Phoenix game. The winner of that game will face off against the winner of the Central Del Norte game. And those two teams will play here on court number 3 at the conclusion of this one, Mcnary versus Crater. The Mcnary, coached by Crystal DeMello, features a roster, few seniors, couple juniors, and sophomores, and even a freshman. You've got Chloe Martindale, the senior, Alyssa Garvey, senior, Maddox Snyder, the sophomore, Alexis Eldridge, sophomore, Jasmine Zapita, junior, Ellie Dean, junior, Taylor Ebbs, junior, Zoe Warner, senior, Chloe Deed, senior, Madison Corp, the lone freshman on the squad, Trinity Campstra, a junior, and Marissa Ortiz, the senior, rounds out the roster for Mcnary. And then on the other side of the court, we will see in just a few minutes, they are cooling off after their hard-fought victory. The Crater Comets are over the Cascade Christian Challengers, coached by Megan Dunn. Here's Crater's lineup. Ella Malfaban, the sophomore. Kate Stidham, the freshman. Amara Stromberg, the sophomore. Tessa Froge, the junior. Sarah Betchel, the senior. Kylie Anderson, the junior. Kayana Woodard, longtime veteran senior. Avery Hansen, the junior. Liliana Reed, the freshman. Kendra Biddle, the freshman. And Jonathan, we saw Kendra Biddle, that freshman, make some big impact plays in Crater's win over Cascade Christian just a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, and making a difference on both sides of the ball.
So Kendra Biddle, a freshman for Crater. Kira Christensen, the junior. Madison Cosina, a freshman. And Avery Young, a senior. So a lot of youth on both sides of the volleyball court, but probably no more so than the Crater Comets, who just with a quick glance might be the youngest team overall in this tournament. But here they are in the semifinals. They will face off against a very tough Mcnary team. We're going to step away for one more quick break. When we come back, we kick off the semifinal action of the silver bracket in the Rogue Valley Classic. You're watching Table Rock Sports Net. Stick around. We'll be right back after this.
Circle K is your on-the-go tailgate headquarters. Whether it's a home game or a road game, when you need a big play, call on My Circle K. From their always fresh premium brewed coffee, ice-cold fountain drinks and sodas, fresh made-for-travel deli items. When it comes to special teams, nothing is more special than My Circle K's Kickback Reward Program. Rewards every purchase, every time. Find them, follow them, throw a tailgate party with them. MyCircleK.com.
Listen up, everyone. Listen up. You know that great deal got him a new car? This is the guy from Lithia who made it all possible, Carlos.
Hey, Carlos. Hey, Carlos.
You want someone who's gonna take care of you and not just the dealership? My guy should be your guy.
Hola, Carlos.
But not for you, little sister. Thank you for coming.
Find your guy during Jeep Adventure Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford and on lithiasuperstore.com. Not a dealership, a partnership.
This year, don't just replace your windows, renew them with beautiful and energy-efficient windows from Bill's Glass. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home or auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 40 years. Bill's Glass in Ashland and Medford, and now Bill's Glass in Grants Pass.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
Welcome back, sports fans, to North Medford High School. You're watching Table Rock Sports production coverage of the Rogue Valley Classic Silver Bracket. We are bringing you the semifinals game live from court number 3. My name is Jonathan Kerman. Alongside me is Jonathan Mcnary. We are just a couple minutes away from kicking off our first semifinal game of the afternoon. The Crater Comets facing off against the Mcnary Celtics. And we saw this Crater Comets team defeat Cascade Christian just a few minutes ago, Jonathan, but there are a lot of teams here today. You see there are 3 concurrent games going on at the same time. And who are some of the teams that we are going to see, both in the silver bracket and in the championship bracket, going on in courts number 1 and 2?
Yeah, and teams coming from all around the state and even in California. You see Del Norte coming down from the Brookings area in California. Mcnary's from Kaiser, right outside Salem. So you see a lot of teams traveling, teams from Bend, Mountain View, Bend Lava Bears.
Probably the best mascot in the state. Crook County as well, making the trip from up north. You got Ridgeview, West Salem as well. And then, of course, your local teams, Ashland, Cascade Christian, Crater, Grants Pass, North and South Medford, Phoenix as well, making an appearance.
So lots of levels of competition here from the 6, 5, and 4A divisions.
As the teams will shake hands, showing good sportsmanship.
A little friendly competition never hurts.
Crater in their road blacks, Mcnary in their home whites with blue shorts. Game 1 in this first semifinal game of the afternoon. At the conclusion of this one, we will head on down to the official scores table and find out just how Ashland Phoenix and then Central Del Norte, how those two matchups concluded, because the winner of those two will be our other semifinals matchup. So these two teams, Mcnary and Crater, are fighting for a spot in the Silver Bracket Championship game. Here at the Rogue Valley Classic, first 225 must win by 2. Best of 3, so not like a traditional OSAA volleyball match that is a best of 5. Here at this tournament, because these teams are playing so many games, each team had pool play that started at like a 9:30 this morning in the interest of time and also player safety. Best of 3 sets. So quick volleyball, every point matters, every game magnified.
Yeah, you get these quick fire matches as a result, and it's a lot of fun seeing them go back and forth. Lots of games on the slate today.
Back to serve for the Crater Comets. That's the freshman Kendra Biddle. We highlighted her in the pregame show, and 1 serve, 1 point for the Crater Comets.
Didn't take long.
Mcnary had a first-round bye because of how well they performed in their pool.
We'll see how that shapes out as they have a little bit more rest than Crater does, but sometimes that works in the team that just played's favor.
Oh yeah, you have the momentum, you're already loose. You have your tendencies with the team. And the touch going to go for Crater. That was Avery Hansen winning the point for the Comets. Nearly a net violation, but she managed to keep her hands off of the polyester.
The almost is very important here.
And a good spike by McNary's Chloe Martindale gives the Celtics their first point of the game and now possession. Back to serve for McNary, senior Zoe Warner. First touch by Crater's Madison Cosina. There's a good block on the front lines by McNary. Chloe Martindale and Chloe Deed. So a couple of Chloes there on the front line for McNary, and Crater has a couple of Averys, so we'll probably see Chloe and Chloe against Avery and Avery at some point, maybe multiple times throughout this game. Zoe Warner the serve, and a miss hit by Crater's Madison Cosina gives McNary the lead. Warner back to serve once again for the Celtics. Low line drive serve sent over by Cosina, and a missed touch by Taylor Ebbs. Crater with the point. They tie this game right back up, and they will take over possession. Avery Young checking into the game for Kiana Woodard. Those two teammates very familiar with each other on the hardwood, playing both volleyball and basketball at a high level for the Crater Comets. That serve by Katie Stidham for Crater sails high and far. Point possession back to McNary, and the lead as well. Alexis Eldridge, the sophomore. The serve, dug out by Crater. They send it over, but an opportunity for McNary and a kill. Strong spike, but an even better diving stop by Avery Hansen for Crater. And then to finish the job, Tessa Froge. Crater looking good early. They tie the game up at 4. And now back to serve will be Tessa Froge, who just won that point. Opportunity for a response, but a good dig out by Crater's Kylie Anderson. Quick touch at the net, and the officials do indeed get Madison Corp. The freshman just nicked the net a little bit, and that's all it takes.
Saw that hand go over, and a good call there.
Tessa Froge the serve once again. Alexis Eldridge the first touch back for McNary. Katie Stidham sends it up. Madison Cosina sends it over for the Comets. There's a strong spike, but real strong and wide down the far sideline, or the near sideline, excuse me. That was Taylor Ebbs. A little too much mustard on that serve. All smiles on the Crater side. As Froge serves once again.
And a back and forth battle here.
Strong play at the net, won by Mcnary and the Celtics. Gets them to within one, gives them possession, and now checking into the game for Mcnary. That's number 6, Ellie Dean. Junior back to serve. Sends it over. First touch by Tessa Froge for Crater. There's Cosina. Great spike. A diving attempt by Alexis Eldridge to no avail. Point and possession back to the Comets. They lead by 2.
And just 1 or 2 points may be the difference here as we see both teams going back and forth. Great match so far.
Avery Young able to dig it out. And then there's Cosina again. Another kill for the 6-foot freshman. And this Crater team, I mean, they are probably the youngest team in the tournament, but it's not because of a lack of talent. And you figure you have so many freshmen, as there's another point won. This time Kendra Biddle, another freshman for Crater with terrific net play.
And the future looks bright for Crater if you got these young players winning minutes early in their careers. It's a good sign of things to come.
Winning minutes, winning possessions. Mcnary sends that one too far. Crater gets into double digits. They lead 10-5. Yeah, if you're a team that's predominantly freshmen, as there's a timeout called on the floor. You're a team that has a lot of freshmen, and you're playing up to some of the best talent in the area at the varsity level. Right, the future very, very bright for Crater, but they are focused on the present. They have a 10-5 lead. And during this timeout, we'd like to take a moment to thank one of our wonderful presenting sponsors, Arby's. Before or after the game, stop in at Arby's at 41 East Stewart Avenue in Medford, where they have the meats, and they mean it. Arby's at Stewart and Riverside, before or after the game, proud sponsor of Table Rock Sports. Set number 1, best of 3 sets here in this semifinal game in the silver bracket of the Rogue Valley Classic. Thank you all so much for joining us here on TableRockSports.net and making us a part of your Saturday afternoon. Crater with the serve. Chance for Mcnary to respond, and they do. Taylor Ebbs, the junior, with the kill. And she is now back to serve. And you see action happening on all 3 courts here at North Medford. Avery Young, the hit over for Crater, but Taylor Ebbs a chance to respond, sends that one too far. Point and possession to the Comets. Checking into the game for Crater, Kayana Woodard. 5'8" senior, defensive stalwart in basketball. Sends that one over. Diving dig by Ellie Dean. Woodard sends it back, and what a terrifically placed ball by Katie Stidham. Another freshman for this Crater team, and what a veteran savvy move, right?
And just the touch on that ball, expecting a spike, was Mcnary.
Well, don't speak too soon. Point was awarded to the Celtics.
Oh, must have been a
too far, too wide.
Violation.
The only, either net violation or the ball was too wide. You have to look at the replay on that. There's a strong spike, too far, sent over by Mcnary. Point, and now possession to the Crater Comets. Although the official scoreboard, they are now correcting it. Although they have, all right. Well, so this is interesting because they have Crater 13-7. As Mcnary wins another point. We have it at 12-7 because that questionable call where that we thought went Crater's way, but it actually went Mcnary's. And it'll be interesting to see. Again, the official score, at least down there, says 13-8.
So we may or may not get it changed.
It will be interesting as this set gets later and later. Getting to the 24-25 as Crater bodies all over the floor. No one able to send the volleyball over. Point and possession to Mcnary.
And questions will start to be asked about that score as it gets closer.
Right. Well, and
down the wire.
The further away we get from that one questionable call, I mean, I only say questionable because it is in question.
Yes.
The further away we get from that, the less frame of reference we're going to have. Well, the official score is 13-10, so that's what we'll show here on the scoreboard to match as Mcnary roaring back. They were down by as many as 8. They are within 2.
And Crater just wanted to put that one away, but as you said, Mcnary surging back into this game.
Madison Corp the serve. Crater up with it, a chance to respond, but it goes into the net. And the Celtic onslaught continues. 13-12 in favor of Crater.
And Crater may be getting a little nervous here.
Corp again with the serve. Kiana Woodard the first touch. Ball sent over by Kendra Biddle, but saved by Mcnary. A bit of a question mark as to who was going to send that ball over. It was finally Maddox Snyder who does so. And there on the kill for Crater, Tessa Froge. That stops the bleeding, gives the point and possession back to the Comets, the lead up to 2.
That's a good way to break the momentum there. Crater will serve. That one doesn't clear the net.
Yeah, Kendra Biddle serves one into the net. Tough pill to swallow if you're a Crater fan. Point and possession right back to Mcnary.
Crater still holding a slim lead, 14-12.
Well, I had it at 14-13. It was 14-12 before that last point. I'm not sure what's going on with the scoring right now, but we will follow the official score, and right now it's 15-12 in favor of the Comets. Not sure where I'm getting turned around, but we'll leave the scoring to the scoreboard, and sure enough, as I glance down, it is indeed 13 points for Mcnary. Sometimes you got to trust your gut. However, the physical point that we just saw was won by Crater, and so the score is now 16-13.
There's a few hiccups we have to get over.
Serving for Crater, Katie Stidham, the freshman, playing a little bit of defense that time on that spike by Chloe Martindale of Mcnary. Point and possession to the Celtics. Back to serve is Alexis Eldridge. Crater, first touch. Whoa, a bit of a mistimed jump by Avery Hansen. Wasn't sure if that was intentional or not, but net violation called on Mcnary. Point and possession back to the Crater Comets. We're now getting into the waning points of this first set. So critical, so crucial, Jonathan, in a best of 3 sets to win that first set.
Definitely each match carries more weight than a regular game.
That spike too long. Point to Crater. Up the lead now to 4. And as you get later into the match, obviously you want to try and push that lead to give yourself more opportunities with set point. There's a strong spike and a kill. Ella Malfabon, correction, Chloe Martindale for Mcnary. Martindale, the senior, gives point and possession back to the Celtics. Ellie Dean is back to serve. Chance for Crater to respond. Quick first touch.
And they'll call a violation on Crater. Point Mcnary and possession.
Yeah, the violation is going to be the shape of the hand and how it was hit over. It's too much palm that was being used. Mcnary will take it. It's 18-16. Dean the serve. Here's an opportunity for Crater to respond, but a good play on the front lines by Mcnary's Madison Corp, but no one on the receiving end. Ellie Dean tried to save the ball, but unsuccessful. Point in possession back to the Comets. It will be Kylie Anderson on the serve. Alexis Eldridge able to dig it out for Mcnary. Ball sent over by Taylor Ebbs, but controlled by the Comets. Here's an opportunity for the Celtics now. Ebbs once again And she beats the front line of Crater. Point and possession back to the Celtics. A lot of C's in these first couple of games, Jonathan. We had the Cascade Christian Challengers against the Crater Comets, and now the Comets against the Celtics.
A strange coincidence, I'd say.
Madison Cosina on the spike. She wins the point for the Comets. Crater now into 20. And back to serve is Kayana Woodard for Crater. Woodard up with it. And a weak first touch, but Mcnary able to get it back over. Let's see how Crater responds. Cosina sends it into the net. Unforced errors coming at a bad time for Crater. Point possession to Mcnary. Maddox Snyder back to serve. Sophomore goes up with it. Here's an opportunity for Crater, their first touch. And the response, Kayana Woodard, just a set over. Into no man's land, a diving save by Tessa Froge. On the spike, it sails wide. Madison Cosina, her spike a little wide. Point to Mcnary, they're within one.
Mcnary not going away as we've seen here.
And now here comes Marissa Ortiz for the Celtics, back to serve.
Game's getting ready to go underway on the third court on your screen.
Kate Stidham with the initial first save, but there on the spike was Zoe Warner for McNary. Excuse me, you're McNary.
Yes, I'm McNary, they're McNary.
All tied at 20. Sent over by Kendra Biddle for Crater. McNary, a good front line by Crater to stymie that attack. Ball being touched up in the air and then finally sent up by Kate Stidham just to give Crater an opportunity to reset. Here comes McNary. A diving stop by a couple of Crater Comets. First Kayana Woodard and then Kate Stidham. This point still going on. Back and forth these two teams go. Stidham gets it over again. And then finally the quick touch. Savvy move by Madison Corp. She's a freshman on the McNary side. Quick set into no man's land. No one there to return it for Crater. 21-20, McNary takes the lead here in set number one.
Both teams a lot of activity on that last possession.
Kayana Woodard will send it over. Weak first touch. A couple players diving on the court to no avail. Point and possession back to Crater. We're all tied at 21 here in set number one. This is a semifinal game. The winner will advance to the Silver Bracket Championship game. Madison Cosina, the serve for Crater. Zoe Warner on the spike, and she beats the front line of the Comets. Point, possession, and lead back to McNary. First to 25, must win by 2. Maddie Corp, the freshman, back to serve. Kayana Woodard, the first touch for Crater. Softly hit over by Tessa Froge, controlled by McNary. Here's Zoe Warner. She sends it in, but Froge is able to recover. Here's Froge again, and she beats the front line of Chloe Martindale and Chloe Deed. So Tessa Froge bests the Chloes that time. Now back to serve for Crater. Kendra Biddle, the freshman. Marissa Ortiz, the first touch for McNary. Zoe Warner able to beat the front line of the Comets. Point, possession, and lead back in favor of McNary.
And just 2 more points for a set win.
Warner, the serve. Crater a little discombobulated, but they do get the ball over. Marissa Ortiz sends it up. Taylor Ebbs sends it over. Now Crater an opportunity to respond. Kate Stidham sets it for Tessa Froge. That one sails wide. So now set point for McNary. Zoe Warner back to serve. A weak first touch for Crater, and Kayana Woodard is going to have to get it over somehow. She does. A nice play by Marissa Ortiz for Mcnary to keep it alive. Madison Cosina saves it for Crater. A mistimed jump by Avery Hansen, but Crater Comets are able to get it over. And then Chloe Martindale for Mcnary. Sends that one into the back right corner, and that is set number 1. It belongs to the Mcnary Celtics. Stick around. Set number 2 is coming up next here on TableRockSports.net. You're watching live coverage of the Rogue Valley Classic Silver Bracket semifinal game. Stick around. Our coverage continues after this quick commercial break.
Listen up, everyone. Listen up. You know that great deal got him a new car? This is a guy from Lithia who made it all possible. Carlos.
Hey, Carlos. Hey, Carlos.
You want someone who's gonna take care of you and not just a dealership? My guy should be your guy.
Hola, Carlos.
But not for you, little sister. Thank you for coming.
Find your guy during Jeep Adventure Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford and on lithiasuperstore.com. Not a dealership, a partnership.
This year, don't just replace your windows, renew them with beautiful and energy-efficient windows from Bill's Glass. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home or auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 40 years. Bill's Glass in Ashland and Medford, and now Bill's Glass in Grants Pass.
Welcome back, sports fans. You are watching Table Rock Sports Productions live coverage of the Rogue Valley Classic Silver Bracket semifinal matchup between the Mcnary Celtics and the Crater Comets. In this best of 3 match, Mcnary took set number 1, 25-22. So they are in the driver's seat to punch their ticket to the Silver Bracket Championship game, which of course we will bring you live here on TableRockSports.net. This broadcast is being presented live in HD for free because of our presenting sponsors, Lithia Auto Superstore and US Cellular at Siskiyou. Stop into any one of 7 US Cellular locations in Southern Oregon for a wide range of your wireless needs. For over 25 years, Siskiyou Cellular has been keeping customers connected to the people and things that matter most. Check out the latest individual, family, and business plans, all with the latest smartphones, tablets, hotspots, and accessories. Siskiyou Cellular, presenting sponsor of Table Rock Sports. This broadcast is also brought to you by the Associates for Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery. Doctors James Savage and Rajiv Rajagopal are happy to welcome Dr. Brian Clevenger to the Associates for Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery. Their offices in Medford, Grants Pass, and Klamath Falls practice a full scope of services from corrective jaw surgery to wisdom teeth removal and much more. For more information or to schedule your complimentary dental implant consultation, call 541-779-3781. 2 teams making their way back out onto the court. We're at court number 3. Jonathan Kerman here with you alongside me, Jonathan McCrary, bringing you all the action from court number 3. At the conclusion of this semifinal game, we will have the other semifinal game from the silver bracket. The winner of Ashland Phoenix facing off against the winner of Central and Del Norte. Cascade Christian fell to the Crater Comets a little earlier today. We broadcasted the end of that game for you as things have gotten a little bit behind schedule. Crater in their road blacks on the left side of your screen. Mcnary in their home whites with blue shorts on the right of your screen. Mcnary taking set number 1, 25-22. Couple substitutions, couple chest bumps for the Crater Comets. They're feeling good despite being down 1-0 in a best of 3. And that's a great sign. It's a great sign, Jonathan, because this Crater team's so young, it's easy to get down on yourselves. You lose a tough first set, but still a lot of smiles, a lot of high energy, and that's going to pay dividends for the Crater Comets. We are underway in set number 2 of this first semifinal game. An awkward first touch by Chloe Martindale. She's the one who finished off set number 1. She starts set number 2 with a point for Mcnary.
And yes, she did. Crater has a lot of positive things to pull from the last set as well, even though they didn't come away with a victory. And that certainly helps boost your confidence with a young team.
Tessa Froge gets beaten on the front line. Chloe Martindale once again. Little extra pizzazz on that celebration. Back to serve for Mcnary. That's Madison Corp. Ball is up, and this time the front line of Mcnary unable to hold off Tessa Froge. Gives point and possession to the Comets. You see there are 3 games going on concurrently here at North Medford High School. We're bringing you all the action from court number 3. As there's a strong spike and a kill by Zoe Warner. And it's that front line of Zoe Warner and Chloe Martindale who have been doing a lot of the damage for Mcnary. They have a 3-1 lead. Back to serve for Mcnary is Zoe Warner. Low first touch. Kayana Woodard unable to corral it for the Crater Comets. Another point for the Celtics. Warner up with it. Kayana Woodard. Another sort of emergency set right there. No one on the receiving end for Crater. And Crater coach Megan Dunn trying to hype her team up, get them back into this game. They trail 5-1. Warner the serve. Here's an opportunity for Tessa Froge to respond. Warner's there to recover. And another terrific spike, this time Taylor Ebbs for Mcnary.
And all Mcnary here so far as they look to close this one out in 2 sets.
Warner with the serve. Boy, Kayana Woodard having difficulty with that first touch, and a timeout going to be called by Crater. They need it. 7-1 in favor of Mcnary in set number 2 and a best of 3 in this semifinal game. Get your crunch on with crispy, crunchy chicken. It's available at My Circle K. That's a game winner right there. Find them, follow them, kick back with them at mycirclek.com. This broadcast is also brought to you by Travel Medford. Southern Oregon is a hotbed for local sports at the youth, high school, college, and even Olympic levels. Stay in touch with all sports at southernoregonsports.com. You see Mcnary, they're ready to keep playing. They want to keep the momentum going as they've rattled off, I believe, 6 consecutive points now.
We'll see if that timeout benefits Crater, just getting them settled in, taking a deep breath.
Zoe Warner back to serve. Well, that's one way to to stop the bleeding. Warner sends one into the net. Point and possession to Crater.
Sometimes it just takes a mistake by your opponent to get yourself back in the game.
So now back to serve for the Crater Comets is the freshman Kate Stidham. First touch from Mcnary, Maddox Snyder. And there's a spike into the net by Taylor Ebbs. So a couple mistakes for Mcnary. Crater will happily take the 3 points. Score is now 7-3. And see, just like that, Jonathan, a blink of an eye, 7-1 is a very serious deficit as Mcnary starting to unravel here early. 7-1 is, you're getting the snot beat out of you.
Yeah.
But you win a couple points, and really Crater didn't win any points. Mcnary has lost a few in a row, but now it's a 3-point game. And Crater right back in this.
Yeah, they just whittled it down slowly, taking it 1 point at a time, and sometimes that's all you need to do.
Strong spike by Mcnary's Chloe Deed. Too hot to handle for the Crater defense. Point and possession back to Mcnary. Alexis Eldridge back to serve.
But from what we've seen from Crater so far, they won't go down easily. They have a lot of talent in their young players.
Good response by Mcnary. Even better net play, Avery Hansen for the Comets. Right there to send that ball into the hardwood.
And a much different story now, as this game was within 3.
8-5 Mcnary on top. Here's Chloe Martindale. Saved by Kylie Anderson for Crater. Sent over by Madison Cosina, saved by Mcnary. Taylor Ebbs sends it over. Kylie Anderson with the save. Alexis Eldridge getting low to scrape that ball up off the hardwood. Here's an opportunity for the Comets. Here's Madison Cosina. And then on the initial touch on the front line, it deflected the ball, took enough off of it so that Alexis Eldridge for Mcnary unable to make a play on that volleyball. Crater back to within 2.
Well executed play there by Crater.
Tessa Froge back to serve for the Comets. Taylor Ebbs with the hit over for Mcnary. And Madison Cosina, a freshman, wins the point. A strong spike by Maddox Snyder sails past the back line, and Crater has tied this game up at 8. Well, now some discussions. The near sideline official is saying, I believe, that a Crater player touched that volleyball. Megan Dunn, the head coach for the Comets, she can't believe it. But point and possession to Mcnary. I didn't see the contact, Jonathan, but the officials have a much better view of the action down on the court than we do up here.
Yeah, a little closer than we are. I didn't quite see it either.
Nice diving save by Tessa Froge for Crater. Let's see how they respond. A strong spike at the net. Avery Hansen gives the point back to the Comets. Score is 9-8. Kylie Anderson the serve for the Comets. Strong play at the net. Violation called against Mcnary's Maddox Snyder. She shoots the near sideline official a strong look. This game is tied at 9.
And a big response from Crater now, as they've now outscored.
And Crater has taken the lead after being down 7-1 earlier in this set. Stunning turnaround.
Absolutely.
Here's Madison Cosina. She sends it over. First touch by Zoe Warner for Mcnary. Terrific net play by Crater. Kendra Biddle, the freshman. Avery Young, the senior. Old and new. Getting the job done for the Comets on the front lines. And a timeout called by Mcnary. 11-9. Crater on top here in set number 2 and a best of 3. Stick around. Volleyball action continues next, right after this.
Circle K is your on-the-go tailgate headquarters. Whether it's a home game or a road game, when you need a big play, call on My Circle K. From their always fresh premium brewed coffee, ice-cold fountain drinks and sodas, fresh made-for-travel deli items. When it comes to special teams, nothing is more special than My Circle K's Kickback Reward program. Rewards every purchase, every time. Find them, follow them, throw a tailgate party with them. MyCircleK.com.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
Welcome back, sports fans. You're watching the semifinal matchup between the Crater Comets and the Mcnary Celtics on court number 3 here at North Medford High School. It's all part of Table Rock Sports' coverage of the Rogue Valley Classic. A strong spike that sails past the back line. Mcnary is saying Crater touched it, but the officials
beg to differ.
They indeed beg to differ. So the point to Crater. A good diving save by Mcnary's Madison Corp, and it results in a Mcnary point. So 13-10, Crater on top here in set number 2. You see on the John L. Scott scoreboard Mcnary took set 1, 25-22. It is a best-of-3 match, so this game is do or die for the Crater Comets. A fantastic dig off the hardwood by Kylie Anderson. On the other side,
excellent saves all across the board.
yeah, Alexis Eldridge diving on the hardwood, laying her body on the line to save the ball, but it is in vain. Crater comes away with the point. Score is 14-10. Here's Kiana Woodard with the serve. Ball sent over by the Comets, and lane violation, or net violation, I should say, called against McNary's Madison Corp. These officials watching that net like a hawk. Back to serve is Kiana Woodard for Crater. Again, she likes to get a running start. First touch for McNary is the junior Ellie Dean. Alexis Eldridge sends it over. Dug out by Kylie Anderson. Here's Madison Cosina, and she beats the front line of McNary. Nice block on the front line for Crater. A lot of touches, no violation called, and the point going to be won by McNary. 16-11 the score you see on the John L. Scott scoreboard. Substitution for the Celtics, Marissa Ortiz going to check into the game to serve. Opportunity for Crater to respond. Cosina beats the front line, but McNary able to save it, and then the spike by Zoe Warner, too strong. Point in possession back to the Comets.
Jim quieting down as they await the result of this one. Some games going final.
Now back to serve will be Madison Cosina. That one sails just wide. McNary once again looking for a touch. They do not get it. Point to Crater as Madison Cosina's serve sails just a bit wide, a bit long I should say. Gives the point in possession back to McNary. Madison Corp, she's a freshman as well, playing on this varsity squad. Back to serve for the Celtics. Kiana Woodard, the first touch for Crater. Here's Maddie Cosina. That one goes into the net. Point to McNary. So we saw McNary jump out to an early 7-1 lead, Jonathan, and then Crater had an 18-12 lead. So both teams leading by as many as 6 in this second set.
Yeah, it's been a story of runs for both teams.
Not sure if the ball was touched or not. Regardless, the ball does land in play. And so another point to McNary. They come roaring back. Corp again with the serve. Kiana Woodard, the first touch. There's Tessa Froge with a strong kill on the front lines. So 19-14 the score you see on the John L. Scott scoreboard. And back now to serve for Crater, another freshman, Kendra Bittel. Strong spike by Chloe Martindale, but controlled, or I should say returned by the Crater back line. There's a terrific touch by Zoe Warner, dropping that ball right into no man's land. 19-15. Crater on top, McNary with possession. Zoe Warner, the serve. Quick sent over the net by Katie Stidham, but controlled by McNary. Here's Crater again. And a net violation, or I guess that's a hand violation called on Crater. Just a 3-point lead now. First to 15. Must win by 2. Maddie Cosina, the first touch for Crater. There's a strong spike by Tessa Froge, but controlled by McNary. And the spike by Taylor Ebbs, too hot to handle for the back line of the Comets. The Celtics are within 2. Tessa Froge again, and she beats Marissa Ortiz on the back line. Crater gets into the 20s.
And it's first to 25, must win by 2 unless we have time constraints like the last game.
Great job by Madison Cosina to save that strong spike. Another opportunity for Mcnary, and a perfectly placed ball. A diving attempt by Kylie Anderson on the back line. She gets helped up by her teammates. And boy, are these girls tough. She's going to stick around and continue to play. Point, however, and possession to Mcnary. Score is 18-20 in favor of Crater. Alexis Eldridge, the sophomore, back to serve for the Celtics. Cosina, the first touch. Avery Young just sends it over. Cosina, the first touch again. Here's Tessa Froge, a strong spike. Controlled by Eldridge, but sent back far. Mcnary going to have to just get the ball over. They do. An opportunity for Crater to take control. Here's Froge once again. Strong spike on the far sideline and the kill. 21-18 now the score.
And excellent work by Crater there not to rush it once they got the ball back.
Tessa Froge, the serve for the Comets. First touch by Zoe Warner for Mcnary. Quick first touch on the front lines, but handball called against Mcnary. Point to Crater. 4-point lead. Crater 3 points away from taking set number 2 and sending us to a deciding set 3. Some stoppage in play as Mcnary's head coach, Crystal DeMello, has some words for her team. Here's an opportunity for the Celtics. Taylor Ebbs just sends it over. Here's Madison Cosina, and nope. Hand violation called against Crater. And now a 3-point game. Mcnary with possession. And back to serve will be Ellie Dean. Dean up with it. Low line drive dug out somehow by Kylie Anderson. Crater able to control. But a good touch on the back line by Ellie Dean for Mcnary. Ball sent well far past the back line by Zoe Warner. Point and possession back to the Comets. They are within 2. Timeout called by Mcnary. We will keep things right here. You're watching Table Rock Sports coverage of the Rogue Valley Classic Silver Bracket semifinal game between Mcnary and Crater. It is a best-of-3 match. Mcnary took set number 1, 25-22. Crater with a 4-point advantage here late in set number 2, hoping to force a deciding set 3. The winner of this game will punch their ticket to the Silver Bracket Championship game, which of course we will bring you live here on TableRockSports.net. It's time for former high school athletes to get back in the game. Please consider becoming an OSAA official. There is a serious shortage statewide in all sports at all levels. Remember the people that called your games in high school. Now it's your turn. Visit www.newofficials.org to find out how you can get back in the game.
And we are back to the game now as Crater serves.
Tessa Froge the serve for the Comets. Quick touch on the front line by Mcnary's Maddie Korp. That's good to get Mcnary into the 20s. Gives them possession. Taylor Ebbs back to serve for the Celtics. Low line drive into the net. And these are the kind of mistakes that Mcnary can ill afford to make at this juncture in the match. Kiana Woodard back to serve for set point as Crater looks to force a deciding third set. Woodard up with it. Low line drive dug out just barely by Zoe Warner. Strong spike by Mcnary, controlled by Kylie Anderson for Crater. Maddie Cosina there on the kill, and Crater takes set number 2. We're going to a deciding third set. Stick around, folks. The final set of this first semifinal game is coming up next on TableRockSports.net. Stick around, more action coming your way right after this.
How have you found Medford, and how's the transition been?
The whole Medford community has been incredibly welcoming and supportive, and I've loved to see how this entire community rallies around our schools. I mean, it's just such good things happening for kids all over this community. It's good stuff.
What did you see about the district that presented opportunities you're interested in, challenges maybe that you'll face here in Medford?
Yeah, a lot of great things already happening for students here in this school district. I mean, some of the work around pathways is really incredible, and opportunities for kids to get involved early on to see, am I interested in a particular field or not, and learning that is really incredible here in the district. Yep. And then we have a great board of directors who is very interested in how do we ensure that our students are ready for whatever their next step is? And we talk about having every option open for them. And so that's important too, to have a board that understands that it's got to be always about the students. And then I've gotten to know a lot of the staff here in the district, and whether they're in the classroom or coaching, or they're at central office, or frankly in cafeterias or driving a bus. These are folks who are focused on the students, and so having that opportunity to work with these adults who are so interested in ensuring that our students are successful is just a joy. And so it has been part of my very fortunate career to be able to work in districts where that's been the case, and that's certainly the case here too. And so I was very interested in doing that in a little bit different locale here in Southern Oregon, which has been a joy as well.
Excellent. Heard great things about your visits to Kids Unlimited and Logos to charter schools.
Sure.
School is a little different as we go forward. Meeting the needs of kids, so that's a neat opportunity within the district, a new opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. So this idea of options for kids is something that is very exciting to me. We know that as adults, we like having options whenever we make choices about a variety of things, and the same should be true for our parents and for our students as well. Within a system, having opportunities for students to explore a variety of things, whether, to your point, whether it is in a different environment, a particular different school, or whether it is within our traditional schools, having options for kids is always a good thing. And frankly, it leads to a more quality education, because then the student's able to get in and experiment with some things. And it's not just finding things they love. That's exciting, of course. Yep. But equally exciting is when kids get into something and realize, I hate this. You know, I mean, how much better to discover that when you're 16?
They call that math. Right?
No.
So sorry to have to cut that interview short, but we are back in action at court number 3. Set number 3 between the Mcnary Celtics and the Crater Comets. These two teams trying to punch their ticket to the Silver Bracket Championship game.
Mcnary already out to a 2-0 lead.
Make it 3. Our next game will be the second semifinal game of the Silver Bracket. As Mcnary jumping out to a quick 4-0 lead.
Really similar story to the last game, or the last set.
Ashland defeated Phoenix in their quarterfinals game. And so they will face off against the winner of Central and Del Norte, who are in the third set. Score was 10-8 last I checked in favor of Del Norte. But quickly, a 5-0 lead for Mcnary, and Crater calls timeout. So at the conclusion of this game, we will bring you Ashland versus the winner of Del Norte and Central. And then the winner of this game will play the winner of that game in the championship round. We'll have that for you and more here on TableRockSports.net. And if my sources are accurate, we will also have a crew set up on the far side of this gym where the championship bracket is taking place. And I believe we'll have a crew covering the championship game of the championship bracket here at the Rogue Valley Classic. I'm Jonathan Kerman, alongside me, Jonathan Mcnary. Thank you all so much for joining us here on TableRockSports.net. This broadcast would not be possible without the support of our presenting sponsors, Lithia Auto Superstores and U.S. Cellular at Siskiyou. Mcnary back to serve, already a 5-0 lead here in this deciding set number 3. Let's see how Crater can respond, and they do. Avery Hansen, the 6'4 junior, gets Crater on the board. Back to serve for the Comets is Kate Stidham, but she sends it into the net. That is a point for Mcnary.
And just like we saw in the last set, Mcnary got off to that quick 7-1 lead, and Crater stormed all the way back to win the set. They will look to recreate that magic here as they find themselves down.
Another point won by the Comets. Score is now 6-2. Crater came back down 6. It was 7-1 early in set number 2. They eventually won that set 25-22. Trying to come back down big early again. Nice play at the front lines by both teams. Here's Chloe Martindale. Saved by Kylie Anderson. Now Maddie Cosina, and she bests the front line of Martindale and Maddox Snyder for Mcnary. Point to Crater.
And this Crater team seems to perform well under pressure. After that timeout by their coach, seem to be much more fired up and centered. But that one goes to Mcnary.
Yep. Play on the front line, won by Mcnary. They lead 7-3. Mcnary Celtics on the right side of your screen in their white tops with blue shorts. Crater on the left side of your screen in their road blacks with orange and gray trim. Back to serve for Mcnary. That is Ellie Dean. Dug out beautifully by Kylie Anderson. And then on the front line, Avery Young wins the point for the Comets. A low line drive serve by Anderson, unable to be dug out by Alexis Eldridge of Mcnary, and Crater is within 2. The score is 7-5. You see on the John L. Scott scoreboard. Alexis Eldridge able to dig it out for Mcnary. And a beautiful diving stop by Kylie Anderson for Crater. An opportunity for the Comets to respond. Here's Maddie Cosina, dug out by Zoe Warner. Avery Young gets on the floor for the Comets. Maddie Cosina just has to send it over. And now here's an opportunity for Mcnary. Strong spike, but an even better block. Avery Young for the Comets, and they are roaring right back. The score is now 7-6.
And were they ever really out of it?
They certainly never thought so. And as we have a loose ball, going to break up the play. If that's going to happen, better it happen early in a point in the middle of a team's volley and not in the middle of a transfer of possession or something a little more high octane. Great play on the front line by Crater. Somehow they get it over. An opportunity for the Comets to respond. Maddie Cosina gets beat by Mcnary front line that time. Avery Young not able to track down that ball. Point and possession back to Mcnary. Back-to-back points won by Mcnary, who are now pulling away again after their 6-point lead was trimmed to 1. It's back up to 3. Taylor Ebbs the serve for the Celtics. Here's Maddie Cosina. And a net violation called on the Comets. Mcnary's lead up to 4. Ebbs back to serve once again. Low line drive off her hands. She hit it. And that will give the point in possession back to the Comets. And Kylie Anderson will cede serve, I should say, to Kayana Woodard. Strong spike by Zoe Warner, but dug out by Kylie Anderson. Here's an opportunity for Mcnary. Quick touch, saved by Kayana Woodard. Here's Maddie Cosina. She sends it down. Alexis Eldridge gets it over. Or I should say gets it up. Zoe Warner gets it over. And then on the front lines, Kendra Biddle, the 5'11 sophomore, able to find a hole in the Mcnary defense. 10-8, Celtics on top here in the deciding set number 3. Kayana Woodard with the serve. Soft spike by Zoe Warner, dug out by the Comets. Maddie Cosina has her spike recovered. Warner again. Cosina again, and this time Cosina beats the front line. Crater back to within 1. And on the serve, a miss hit by Chloe Deed, the senior for Mcnary. Crater has tied this game up at 10, and Mcnary calls a timeout. Third and final set of this first semifinal match here at the Rogue Valley Classic Silver Bracket here on TableRockSports.net. Fans, we know you like to access our games on your mobile devices, but how many of you knew that we have an app for that? That's right, the Table Rock Sports app is available through the Apple and Android stores absolutely free. Be sure to check out TableRockSports.com each week for features and our news feeds updated daily. Also, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Table Rock Sports to keep caught up with all of the action from all of the teams, all of the schools, and all of the sports that we cover here on Table Rock Sports. Both teams back out onto the court, all tied at 10 in this deciding third set to see who will go to the championship game. Kayana Woodard, a soft serve. Alexis Eldridge unable to get underneath it, and Crater has their first lead in this third set. Remember, Jonathan, this was after Crater gave up the first 6 points, and now find themselves up 2.
Yeah, same story as the previous set. Crater just overcoming the odds, getting themselves back in the game. You can see that the effort is not lacking after that timeout their coach called early in the game.
The serve by Kayana Woodard clips the net but gets over. Woodard the first to touch it on the response. Bodies diving on the floor. That was not a whistle for our game, and so play continues. Kylie Anderson sends it over for Crater. There's a great block on the front line by Kendra Biddle, but Mcnary able to keep it alive. Here's Maddie Cosina. She sends it just wide, just far back past the back line. Really close play, but the officials have that perfect view to see both lines, and it did indeed sail wide. Checking into the game for Mcnary, Marissa Ortiz. She frequently gets subbed in for the serve. Here's Maddie Cosina, and that one sails wide down the near sideline, and this game is tied at 12. Ortiz up with it. Kylie Anderson had some difficulty on that initial touch, but they do get it over. And now Mcnary scrambling, and they're unable to recover. Point, possession, and lead to the Crater Comets. 13-12 you see on the John L. Scott scoreboard. And a timeout called by Mcnary. We're going to take one as well. Stick around, more action coming up next from North Medford High School.
Circle K is your on-the-go tailgate headquarters. Whether it's a home game or a road game, when you need a big play, call on My Circle K. From their always fresh premium brewed coffee, ice cold fountain drinks and sodas, fresh made-for-travel deli items. When it comes to special teams, nothing is more special than My Circle K's Kickback Reward program. Rewards every purchase, every time. Find them, follow them, throw a tailgate party with them. MyCircleK.com.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
We come back to North Medford High School. Action has resumed. 13-12, Crater on top. A fantastic point. Both teams fought hard, but it's Mcnary that comes out victorious. And they tie the game up at 13. Substitutions coming in for Mcnary. Their star spiker, Chloe Martindale, checks back into the front lines. Back to serve for Mcnary. Their freshman, Maddie Korp. Kayana Woodard, the first touch for Crater. Here's Tessa Froge. Front line for Mcnary, able to hold it off. Opportunity for Crater again. Froge can't find a hold just yet. Diving stop by Kayana Woodard as she sends it over for Crater. There's the soft touch by Chloe Dean. We've seen that a lot, Jonathan. And this one gives Mcnary the lead, 14-13. And another timeout called, this time called by Crater. So 14-13 the score. We'll keep things right here on court number 3. You're watching Table Rock Sports' coverage of the Rogue Valley Classic Silver Bracket. This is the semifinal game, the first semifinal match of the afternoon. At the conclusion of this game, Ashland will face off against the winner of Del Norte and Central, who are playing their third and deciding set over on court number 4.
Which is, of course, upstairs.
Mcnary back to serve. Maddie Korp, the freshman, will do the honors. 14-13, the score on the John L. Scott scoreboard. And a soft touch placed beautifully by Kendra Biddle, the freshman for Crater. Ties the game up and gives the Comets possession. Biddle will be back to serve. Freshman standing in at 5'11". And a strong spike sent through the front lines by Mcnary. They retake the lead and possession. Back to serve, Zoe Warner. First touch by Kayana Woodard. Avery Hansen trying to break through for Crater. She cannot. Chloe Martindale, her spike sent back as both teams now scrambling for the ball. Crater able to recover. A chance for Mcnary to respond. That ball's up and it falls on the Crater sideline. The spike sent back by Avery Hansen. Kylie Anderson will, Kate Stidham will serve for the Comets. Serves dug out by Zoe Warner. There's Riley Anderson covering a lot of ground to save that ball. Chance for Mcnary to respond. Here's Martindale. Sends it in and a diving save by Anderson. Here's Hansen. And that one falls on the Mcnary side. Point, possession, lead for Crater.
And this one going back and forth.
The winner of this game will advance to the championship round. And what was probably the easiest shot all night for Avery Hansen, she instead sends it into the net.
She definitely wants that one back. But not the end of the world here, as it's really close.
Yep, game tied at 16. First to 25, must win by 2. Avery Young sends it over. Ball up in the air, a chance for Mcnary to respond. Ball was touched, or was it?
They call point Mcnary.
Point won by Mcnary on the front lines on the near sideline.
And maybe not the best decision to bring that one into play, but Crater does anyway.
Kylie Anderson able to save it on the first touch. Madison Cosina sends it over. A chance for Mcnary once again. Taylor Ebbs, rather. The soft touch is what gets the job done. And that is the ball game. First to 15 in set number 3. Congratulations to the Mcnary Celtics. They are moving on to the championship round. They defeat the Crater Comets 18-16 in a thrilling third game set. Comets, we talked about it, Joey, very, very young team. Fought hard, gave this talented Mcnary squad a run for their money, but the veteran Mcnary squad able to stave off the Crater Comets, and they advance to the championship round.
Yeah, they came up a little short in the end, but you have to like what you see from the young players. The experience did win in the end, though.
Looks like the Central Panthers defeated Del Norte, and so we will have the Panthers against the Grizzlies coming up for you in just a few minutes. We're going to keep things live here, but step away from the microphones as we get ourselves ready for this next game. This will be the second semifinal coverage here on TableRockSports.net. It will be the Central Panthers and the Ashland Grizzlies. Stick around when we come back. We'll bring you everything you need to know to get you ready for this second semifinals matchup. Hello and welcome, sports fans, to this live video streaming event of Table Rock Sports Productions. I'm Jonathan Kerman. Alongside me, Jonathan Mcnary. We're broadcasting live from North Medford High School in beautiful Medford, Oregon, the home and the site of the Rogue Valley Classic, a volleyball tournament that sees teams coming from all over the state. One team, Del Norte, came all the way from California. We will not get a chance to see Del Norte because they were defeated by the Central Panthers, who will face off against the Ashland Grizzlies here in just a couple of minutes in this second semifinal match of the silver bracket. The winner of this match will face off against Mcnary in the silver bracket finals. The Ashland Grizzlies, coached by Laura Morse, their roster is as follows: Chase Hammock, the junior; Taylor He, the sophomore; Bella Saley, the senior; Grace Angermeyer, the senior, don't get her angry; Quinn Christian, the junior; Amelia Evans, the sophomore; Michaela Miller, the sophomore; Gabby Heiken, the sophomore; Eliana Strandberg, the sophomore; Jessica Crane, the senior; Harper Wells, a sophomore; and Ania Farmer, the junior. So a lot of youth on the Ashland side of the net. For Central, they are coached by Bruce Myers, and this is a veteran squad that features primarily upperclassmen. Just 3 players on the roster are not upperclassmen for the Central Panthers team. Emily Cole, the junior; Sydney Nash, the senior; Katie Fraley, the sophomore; Emily Means, the senior; Belen Amezqua, the junior; Moana Andrew, the junior; Kennedy Cantola, the junior; Canna Tracy, the senior; Josie McDonald, the senior; Kalia Baker, the sophomore; Grace Holstad, the senior; Alicia Pedraza, the senior; and Juliette Alarcon, the sophomore, rounding out the roster for the Central Panthers. This is the Lithia Superstore Game of the Week, powered by U.S. Cellular at Siskiyou and Lithia Auto Superstores, our presenting sponsors. Stop into Lithia Auto Superstores on Crater Lake Highway and say hi and thank you to their general manager, Jason Lawrence, or browse online at lithiasuperstore.com. Jonathan Kerman here, alongside me, Jonathan Mcnary, bringing you all of the action from court number 3 here in the silver bracket. Jonathan, we saw a high-octane, very exciting match between the Crater Comets and the Mcnary Celtics. Mcnary defeating Crater in 3 sets, in a best-of-3 sets. And so what are you looking forward here today, or I should say in this next game between the Ashland Grizzlies, who you see on the right side of your screen in their home whites, and the Central Panthers wearing their all blacks on the left side?
Well, Jonathan, I'm looking to see if Ashland's youth comes into play here, with Central having mostly upperclassmen. As we saw with Crater and Mcnary, didn't really make a difference because Crater had enough talent to make up for the lack of experience, I should say. And we got a very good match as a result.
Panthers will start on the left side of your screen, the Grizzlies on the right side. And Ashland will start with possession. Back to serve for the Grizzlies, that's Grace Angermeyer. She serves it up and we are underway. Semifinal game number 2, and the first point belongs to the Grizzlies on a mishit by Central.
And I'm sure Crater is glad to have a break after playing 2 consecutive games.
The second serve by Angermeyer. The Central Panthers elect to let it go by. It lands in play. Angermeyer once again. Central a chance to respond. There's Kennedy Cantola. She gets it over and the kill. So the Panthers get on the board. Score is now 2-1. Back to serve for Central is junior Emily Cole. Cole up with it. First touch by Gabby Heiken for Ashland. There's a strong spike on the near sideline by Harper Wells, but Central able to control it. A terrific diving stop by Bella Saley. Or is that Quinn? Correction, Quinn Christian. Boy, the bright red top with light gray numbering. Less than ideal for a quick glance to see what number she's wearing. But that is Quinn Christian. As that one lands on Central's side, point and possession back to the Grizzlies. They retake the lead. Score is now 3-2. Back to serve for the Grizzlies is Chase Hammock. Strong spike on the front lines by Tana Tracy for Central. That ties the game up, and Central back to serve. Juliet Alarcon, the 5'2" sophomore. Low line drive serve dug out from the hardwood by Chase Hammock, and she wins the point for the Ashland Grizzlies. Now back to serve, Ania Farmer for Ashland. Fraley to Kalia Baker. She sends it over. Chance for Ashland to respond. And Chase Hammock put a little too much on that one. Ball sails past the back line. Point possession to Central. Sophomore Kalia Baker with the serve for Central. Awkward first touch by Ashland, but they are able to recover. Now let's see if Mcnary, if Central can respond. The winner of this match will face Mcnary in the championship. A beautiful touch by Ashland, but a hand violation called against the Grizzlies will give the point, possession, and lead to Central.
And of course, a lot of games and names are going to be thrown around today in this tournament.
Katie Fraley sends it back. An opportunity for Ashland to respond. The soft touch sent up by Emily Cole for Central. Fraley just has to get it over, and she does. Here's an opportunity for Ashland. Strong spike, inbounds. Nicely done by Amelia Evans. That ties the game up, and Ashland will take possession. Back to serve for the Grizzlies, Elena Strandberg. Nice couple of plays on the Central side to keep this rally going. Now a chance for Ashland. Strong spike off the top of the hands. A great stop on the back line by Juliet Alarcon for Central. And play continues. Strong spike, but Ashland unable to find a hole. Back and forth these two teams go. Emily Cole sends it up. Katie Fraley sends it over. A diving attempt by Quinn Christian to no avail. Long point won by Central. Six to 5. The Panthers on top of the Grizzlies. You see on the John L. Scott scoreboard. Strong spike by Ashland. A collision by a couple Central players, but they keep play alive. How did that happen? And then a beautiful soft touch by Amelia Evans for Ashland. Ties this game back up at 6. Semi-final matchup between the Ashland Grizzlies and the Central Panthers. The winner will face off against the Mcnary Celtics in the Silver Bracket Championship. There's a strong spike. Point won by Amelia Evans. Gabby Heiken, 5'4" sophomore, sends it over. On the spike, Katie Fraley, look out. A laser beam off the hands of the Central sophomore. This game is tied back up at 7. And now it will be Fraley back to serve for the Panthers. Grizzlies send it back. That's Elena Strandberg. First touch there by Strandberg. And now an opportunity for Central. Ball touched at the front line. An opportunity for Ashland to respond. Bopped over by Grace Holstad, but Central recovers. There's a strong spike and a kill. Kennedy Cantola for Central. Fraley back to serve. And a quick touch over. Well done, Grace Angermeyer. Savvy move. A quick touch into no man's land ties the game back up at 8. Gives Ashland possession. Quinn Christian the serve for the Grizzlies. Here's the Panthers' response. Kennedy Cantola, another kill for the Panthers. 9-8 the score you see on the John L. Scott scoreboard. Moana Andrew the serve for Central, and it sails past the back line. Back and forth these two teams go. We're tied at 9. It'll be Angermeyer to serve for the Grizzlies. Emily Cole the set, hit over by Bellina Mezqua, but point awarded to Ashland, an illegal touch by Central. Angermeyer the serve, low line drive, just got over. Kennedy Cantola able to dig it out. Here's an opportunity for the Grizzlies. Long spike, lands just wide for Ashland. Point to Central, and we're tied at 10. Emily Cole back to serve. 5'6" junior. There's a strong spike and a kill. Ania Farmer for Ashland. And now back to serve for the Grizzlies, Chase Hammock. Front line of Central able to stave off the initial strike by Ania Farmer, but never fully did recover. Ashland with another point. They take a 2-point lead. Opportunity for Tana Tracy, but it's sent back by Quinn Christian. Oh, and then a ball that was likely sailing out of bounds, but Kalia Baker unable to get out of the way or prevent the muscle memory from trying to save that ball. Point to Ashland. There's a weak serve, and it falls into the net. So, you giveth, you taketh away. And the score is now.
An unforced error by both teams results in some points, but Central ends up with the ball.
Soft touch by Ania Farmer, controlled by Central. Another opportunity. This time Farmer goes strong in the front line of Central. That's Katie Fraley. They win the point. And will keep possession. Back to serve for Central, Juliette Alarcon. Soft serve. Diving stop by Josie McDonald. Correction, Gabby Heiken. Apology. There on the stuff, Ania Farmer. Her and Elena Strandberg. Tough front line for Ashland. They lead by 2. It will be Farmer back to serve. First touch by Kalia Baker for Central. Sent over by Katie Fraley. And a miss hit by Ania Farmer on the back line for Ashland gives Central the point. They're back to within 1. Baker the serve. Beautiful diving stop by Chase Hammock for Ashland. And then on the spike and the kill, Amelia Evans gives the possession right back to the Grizzlies. This is semifinal action here at North Medford High School, the home of the Rogue Valley Classic. Katie Fraley sends that ball into the next zip code on the miss hit, and Ashland has opened up a 3-point lead. 16-13 on the John L. Scott scoreboard. Awkward first touch, but Central able to recover, except the ball sent over wide on the near sideline. Now a 4-point lead for Ashland, starting to open things up here in the later parts of this first set. Elena Strandberg with the serve for Ashland. Katie Fraley sends it over. The ball blocked on the front line by Ashland. Another opportunity for Central. They just send it over, and it works. Moana Andrew. Unconventional, but it gets the job done for the Central Panthers. And now back to serve is Josie McDonald. Low line drive, first touch by Chase Hammock. Bodies on the floor for Ashland. A diving stop by Elena Stanberg, but to no avail. Illegal touch. Point to Central. Just like that. Or correction, illegal touch on Central. Point to Ashland. Score is 18-14.
Tricked me as well.
Gabby Heiken the serve for the Grizzlies. Here's Katie Fraley. Sends it over and gets it down just in front of Elena Strandberg for Ashland. Point possession to Central. It's a 3-point game. Fraley back to serve for the Panthers. Awkward first touch. Can Ashland recover? Strandberg able to get it over. See how Central responds. Kennedy Cantola's spike dug out by Gabby Heiken. Now here's Jessica Crane. She wins the point for the Grizzlies. They take over possession. Score is 19-15 on the John L. Scott scoreboard. Quinn Christian the serve. Here's the response by Kennedy Cantola. Christian able to dig it out. Here come the Grizzlies. Ania Farmer has it miss just wide. Point and possession back to Central. Moana Andrew the serve, and it falls right in front of Gabby Heiken. Central has climbed back to within 2. There's a strong spike. Ania Farmer, we've seen that a couple of times already in this first game, Jonathan. When Ashland can set things up for Ania Farmer, there's not much that Central can do about it.
Nope, just have to trust their front line.
Grace Ingermeyer the serve, dug out by Katie Fraley and sent over by Josie McDonald. Kennedy Cantola has it blocked. Ania Farmer showing her stuff.
As we just mentioned.
Farmer doing it on both the offensive and defensive side. Winning points for her team. There's another quick touch by Farmer. 3 consecutive points in a row.
And she, of course, was just subbed into the game and made an immediate difference.
Here's Kennedy Cantola. Diving stop by first Quinn Christian and then Jessica Crane. They are able to recover. There's a dig by Gabby Heiken, but it falls in between 2 Ashland Grizzlies coming in to converge on the play. And no one wanted it. 18 for Central, 22 for Ashland. You see on the John L. Scott scoreboard here in set number 1. Emily Cole back to serve. Here's the response for Ashland, and once again, Ania Farmer making quick work of that. Timeout called by Central. 23-18 the score here in Game 1 of this best-of-3 semifinals match between the Ashland Grizzlies and the Central Panthers. You're watching this game live for free in HD because of our wonderful presenting sponsor, Siskiyou Cellular. Stop into any one of the 7 Siskiyou Cellular locations in Southern Oregon for a wide range of your wireless needs. For over 25 years, Siskiyou Cellular has been keeping customers connected to the people and things that matter most. Check out the latest individual, family, and business plans with all the latest smartphones, tablets, hotspots, and accessories. Siskiyou Cellular, presenting sponsor of Table Rock Sports. 23-18, Ashland on top of Central. You see on the John L. Scott scoreboard. And this first set, Jonathan, so important in these best-of-3 because makes that second set potentially the match winner.
Yeah, and puts all the pressure on the other team. Fall back into it.
There's Ania Farmer once again. If I'm Ashland, I am feeding her as much as I can.
Her name's been in on every single play that we've had since she subbed in.
Back to serve for Ashland is Chase Hammock, but before that, a timeout called by Central.
And they likely will need it as they find themselves down 24-18 on the set point.
Now the officials will converge, and yes, it is set point for the Ashland Grizzlies. And yes, they do now finally award a timeout to Central. This broadcast is also brought to you by Travel Medford. Southern Oregon is a hotbed for local sports at the youth, high school, college, and even Olympic levels. Stay in touch with all sports in Southern Oregon at southernoregonsports.com. The winner of this game, well, I should say the winner of this match, will face off against Mcnary in the Silver Bracket Championship game.
That one's sure to be a good match as well.
Chase Hammock back to serve for the Grizzlies. Set point, and there it is. The Ashland Grizzlies take set number 1 over the Central Panthers, 25-18. Stick around, set number 2 is coming up next, right after this quick word from our sponsors. You're watching coverage of the Rogue Valley Classic on TableRockSports.net.
Listen up, everyone. Listen up. You know that great deal got him a new car? This is the guy from Lithia who made it all possible, Carlos.
Hey, Carlos. Hey, Carlos.
You want someone who's gonna take care of you and not just a dealership? My guy should be your guy.
Hola, Carlos.
But not for you, little sister. Thank you for coming.
Find your guy during Jeep Adventure Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford and on lithiasuperstore.com. Not a dealership, a partnership.
This year, don't just replace your windows, renew them with beautiful and energy-efficient windows from Bill's Glass. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home or auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 40 years. Bill's Glass in Ashland and Medford, and now Bill's Glass in Grants Pass.
Welcome back, sports fans. You're watching Table Rock Sports' coverage of the Rogue Valley Classic live from North Medford High School. I'm Jonathan Kerman. Alongside me, Jonathan Mcnary. We are covering the second semifinal game in the silver bracket. And this is between the Ashland Grizzlies and the Central Panthers. You see on the John L. Scott scoreboard, Central falling to Ashland in set number 1, 25-18, behind a terrific showing by junior Ania Farmer for Ashland. Seemed like she was winning every single play for the Grizzlies in that first set, Jonathan.
Yeah, we certainly heard her name a lot. Basically every play.
We will likely see more of the same. She's number 13 in white at the top of your screen. Central in their road blacks on the right side of the court. Ashland in their home whites on the left side of the court.
Game's starting to wrap up here as we approach the championship rounds in both the silver and the championship brackets. And we have both of those games on Table Rock Sports.
And what a day of volleyball it's been, Jonathan. We've been covering the semifinal games, but all of the teams that came out to this Rogue Valley Classic have been here since 9 in the morning playing pool games. Oh, let me try that again. Playing in pool play to try to determine the seeding and the brackets, which bracket you'd be placed into, etc.
Yeah, it's definitely been a long road to where we are now, but as we've seen, the experience has benefited a lot of these teams. Always difficult to start playing early, though.
Central will start. Set number 2. And here is Ania Farmer. A little too much air underneath that last shot. It gives Central the chance and the kill. Well done by Kennedy Cantola. First point of the second set belongs to the Panthers. Emily Cole back to serve for Central. Here's Ania Farmer. Got more on that, but the front line for Central able to block it off, and illegal hand formation on the last shot by Ashland gives Central their second point of the match. And the miscommunication by the Grizzlies, quickly 3-0 Central. Ania Farmer had to shift her body around mid-air to try and get contact on that set shot.
Yeah, not quite successful there, but
missed it wide. And now an opportunity for Jessica Crane. It sails wide. 5 points in a row. 1 by Central. Cole still to serve. Here's Jessica Crane, and this time finds a hole in the Central defense. First point of the second game for Ashland. Back to serve for the Grizzlies, Grace Angermeyer. Beautiful soft touch by Belena Mezqua, but dug out by Elena Strandberg. However, more excellent play on the front line for Central. They win the point and retake a 5-point lead. Back to serve now for Central, Juliette Alarcon. First touch by Quinn Christian, for Ashland. Sent over by Jessica Crane. Here's the response for Central. And it's good. Falls down on the Ashland side. Point won by Katie Fraley. Six-point lead now for Central, their largest lead in this match. Alarcon with the serve. Sent over by Farmer, but not a lot of pace on that ball. And now an opportunity for Central. And a net violation on the hit by Emily Means. Violation called against Ashland. 8-1. Central on top of Ashland. You see on the John L. Scott scoreboard. We're going to step away for a quick break. Stick around. More action coming up right after this.
Doctors James Savage and Rajiv Rajagopal are happy to welcome Dr. Brian Clevenger to the Associates for Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery. Their offices in Medford, Grants Pass, and Klamath Falls offers a full scope of services from corrective jaw surgery, wisdom teeth removal, general anesthesia, dental implants, and much more. For more information or to schedule a consultation, call 541-779-3781. That's 541-779-3781.
Welcome back to North Medford High School. You're watching Table Rock Sports' coverage of the Rogue Valley Classic. This is the semifinals game between the Central Panthers and the Ashland Grizzlies. The winner of this match will face off against Mcnary in the championship game for the silver bracket. Ashland defeated Central in set number 1, 25-18, but here in set number 2, it is all Central. 9-1. The score here early. Ania Farmer looking to get back into the swing of things, and she wins a point for the Grizzlies right there. Back to serve for Ashland now is Chase Hammock. Hammock up with it. And an awkward touch by Central. They're not going to get it over. Back-to-back points won by the Grizzlies. Perhaps maybe momentum starting to shift more in their favor.
Yeah, and we've seen it a lot tonight in several of the matchups where momentum just shifts and changes the whole outlook of the game.
And the spike by Elena Strandberg finds a hole. Another point for Ashland. They're within 5. Low line drive serve. Awkward first touch for Central, but they are able to recover, or should say only for a moment, as Josie McDonald unable to set the ball over. 4 straight points won by the Grizzlies.
Ashland coming alive here, realizing that if they win this set, they win the game.
Bella Nemezqua sends it over for Central. Opportunity for Ashland to respond. Gabby Heiken will send it again. This one far past the back line. Point and possession back to the Central Panthers. Back to serve for Central. Kalia Baker. Low line drive serve. Here's an opportunity for Ania Farmer. She misses wide. Lead back up to 6 for Central. Ball clips the net. A diving attempt by Chase Hammock to no avail. Now an 8-point lead. Ashland not sure what they wanted to do on that last volley. Let's see what Central decides to do. Sends it well wide. The official has to dive out of the way to avoid being hit. Point possession back to the Grizzlies. Ania Farmer will be back to serve for Ashland. Katie Fraley sends it up. Ania Farmer over to Gabby Heiken, and Central somehow, did they save it? No, too many touches, I agree. Seemed like an awful lot of contact on that side.
Certainly thinking so.
Point won by Ashland, within 6. Central, an awkward first touch, just have to get it over, and they do. Ania Farmer, the first touch for the Grizzlies, sent down by Amelia Evans, corralled by Central. Farmer with the set. Gabby Heiken just does get it over. Now an opportunity for the Panthers. Emily Means has it blocked on the front lines. Amelia Evans against Emily Means, and it's Amelia Evans who wins that battle. Deficit now cut to 5 for Ashland. Ania Farmer back to serve.
And as you notice, Farmer no longer on the front lines.
Well, she misses wide on that serve, and will head to the sideline to take a well-deserved rest. Back to serve for Central. Josie McDonald, 5'4" senior. And Elena Strandberg able to find a hole on the back right corner. Lead is cut to 5. And Strandberg will be back to serve. Awkward first miss hit. Look out. That ball coming right up into the broadcast booth. Had to take quick inventory, make sure all of our equipment is okay, and it is.
We got an extra close look at the action there as the ball heads up here in the broadcast booth.
Spike by Gabby Heiken, controlled by Central. And then Katie Fraley able to find a hole in the Ashland defense. 14-9, the score on the John L. Scott scoreboard. Fraley the serve for Central. Back and forth these two teams go. Here's Gabby Heiken. Central controls. Kennedy Cantola can't find an opening. Heiken again, the soft touch, and this time it hits Pater. Ashland keeping pace, down by just 4. If Ashland is able to come back and win this set, they will advance to the championship match. Gabby Heiken with the serve, dug out by Central. And that first touch, saved for a moment by Jessica Crane, but no teammates on the receiving end of that terrific effort. So point possession and a 5-point lead for Central. Moana Andrew with the serve. And a chance for Central to respond. Katie Fraley takes advantage of an Ashland mistake. Central's lead back up to 6. On the spike, Amelia Evans unable to find an opening. There's a diving dig by Elena Stramberg. Terrific effort. And Central keeping pace, but on the front lines, Grace Angermeyer able to best the Panthers that time. Lead cut to 5 again. Quinn Christian, the serve, and it finds the net. Tough pill to swallow if you're Ashland, especially at this juncture in the set. Every point more and more important. You want to keep pace with your opponent late in the set to give yourself a chance to try and steal a victory despite being down.
And Ashland definitely does not want this to go to a third set with Central having the momentum.
Terrific block on the front lines by Ashland, an even better dig by Kalia Baker. And diving to her knees was Gabby Heiken to save that ball. And on the front lines, Emily Means and Belen Amezcua. Soft touch finds an opening. Back to serve, Emily Cole. Quinn Christian digs it out. Jessica Crane airmails that one. And the Panthers pulling away. 8-point lead. Looking to force a third set.
And it happened in a flash. Close set all the way through up until just a few moments ago.
Harper Wells unable to find an opening. Strong spike, but an even better block. Ania Farmer going to try and make an impact here in the waning moments of this second set. Angermeyer the serve. Cole sets it up. Strong spike by Emily Means, but controlled by Ashland. Sent over by Gabby Heiken. Let's see what Central decides to do here. They're just able to get it over. Now an opportunity for Farmer, and she, oh boy, hits Kalia Baker square in the nose. Baker's right.
And Ashland has found success with Farmer up at the front. Going back to their old game plan, it seems to be working. But we'll need some extra help to get back in this one.
Tough break for Ashland. The first touch by Quinn Christian. Hit too hard to try and make a play on it, but not hard enough to get over the net. 20-13 the score. Central on top of Ashland. Juliet Alarcon back to serve for the Panthers. Christian the first touch. Here's Ania Farmer, and she gets another one.
Gonna need a few more of those.
The recipe for success, very simple. 2 words, Ania Farmer. Play has stopped as the ball is waiting to be recovered on the middle court. And substitutions coming in for Ashland. Chase Hammock into the game to serve. 20-14 the score on the John L. Scott scoreboard. The response for Katie Fraley, and Central finds a hole. Now the Panthers just 4 points away from forcing a deciding third set. Timeout called by the Grizzlies. Will take one as well. Stick around. Our coverage of the Silver Bracket semifinals game continues right after this.
Let's go! At US Cellular, we heard you. You want a wireless plan that works for you. That's why we're giving you unlimited data for just $30 on a network ranked #1 in network quality performance. All that and no hidden fees. That's the best value in wireless. That work for you? US Cellular. Choose fair.
For the best deals in wireless on a network that works in the middle of anywhere, visit Siskiyou Cellular, your local US Cellular agent. 7 locations, including Central Point off Plaza Boulevard.
Welcome back, sports fans. Just a quick timeout in the middle of this second set, the semifinal match between the Central Panthers and the Ashland Grizzlies. The winner will advance to the Silver Bracket Championship game against McNary. Ashland took set 1, 25-18, you see on the John L. Scott scoreboard. But right now, Central with the big lead here in set number 2 as play has resumed. Dicey situation for Ashland. They're able to recover. Here's Gabby Heiken. She can't find a hole. Now Ania Farmer looking for that soft touch. Touched back by Emily Cole. Another opportunity for the Grizzlies. Elena Strandberg sends Julia Alarcon diving to the hardwood. Point 1 by Ashland. Jonathan Kerman here alongside me. Jonathan Mcnary. And Jonathan, it feels like Ashland's going to have to play near perfect to get back into this set.
Yeah, like you said, only 4 points away from a defeat in this set.
Have to go better than 9 and 4. Ania Farmer, the serve. Dug out by Alarcon for Central.
Have to have a few balls bounce their way today.
Elena Stromberg able to find a crease.
Just like that one.
The lead is down to 5. But still, you never want to be down more to your opponent than they have points to go to win the set. And that's where we're at right now. 4 points to win the set for Central, 5 points to tie for Ashland. Of course, you got to take it one at a time. A terrific diving stop and another. Can Ashland save it? They do. What incredible play by Gabby Heiken.
As soon as she got up from the first one, she had to jump back up for the second.
And there on the soft touch, Amelia Evans. Spectacular effort all around by the Ashland Grizzlies.
You have to like that effort there if you're the Ashland coach.
Farmer the serve, low line drive, unable to be handled by the defense of Central. It's now just a 3-point game. Ashland with all the momentum. Timeout called by Central. While we have this timeout, let's take a look back at that terrific point won by Amelia Evans and the Ashland Grizzlies. Again, you're watching live replay of a couple points ago. Maybe now we're on to the next one. And you'll see here in just a moment the terrific effort. There's one fantastic diving stop by Heiken. There's another. Truly, truly special stuff. Getting back to live action. Wise decision by Ashland's Chase Hammock to let that ball drop. It lands wide out of bounds. And the Grizzlies are within 2.
Yeah, we were talking earlier, not a good position to be in if you were Ashland a few points ago, but have slowly made their way back, and it certainly seems within reach now.
Strong spike and even better block. Amelia Evans there for the Ashland Grizzlies once again, and this is a 1-point game.
Ashland's two performers are coming to play today. Amelia Evans with some great plays back-to-back.
Fraley again looking for something. Ania Farmer with the first touch. But now a chance for Central. Fraley unable to get it over, and this game is tied. What terrific resiliency by the Ashland Grizzlies. They are eyeing match point. Still have a little ways to go. The winner of this match will face off against Mcnary in the Silver Bracket Championship. Fraley sends it over. Chance for Ashland to respond. Amelia Evans, a soft touch. Central's able to control it.
Yeah, and both teams need to be on their A game because Mcnary is a tough outing.
Gabby Heiken able to win the point for Ashland. They've taken the lead. Well, we said, Jonathan, that Ashland would have to play near perfect volleyball. They're doing just that.
They're playing near perfect volleyball here as we go into a timeout.
You see the score on the John L. Scott scoreboard. Ashland with a 1-0 lead and have a 1-point lead in set number 2 in this best-of-3 semifinals game. Fans, stop into any one of 7 U.S. Cellular, Siskiyou Cellular locations located in Southern Oregon for a wide range of your wireless needs. For over 25 years, Siskiyou Cellular has been keeping customers connected to the people and things that matter most. Check out the latest individual, family, and business plans with all the latest smartphones, tablets, hotspots, and accessories. Siskiyou Cellular, proud presenting sponsor of Table Rock Sports.
Grizzlies have roared back in this one. Set number 2.
A diving stop by Ania Farmer on the near sideline. Terrific effort. Play resumes. And the Panthers just get it over. Another diving stop by Farmer, but a quick return back by the Panthers. Katie Fraley has tied the game up and stopped the bleeding. Back to serve for Central is Josie McDonald.
Once down 8 or 9 points, this game is tied.
Amelia Evans, the quick touch. An awkward hit by Central, but it finds a hole in the Ashland defense, and the Panthers retake the lead. McDonald with the serve. Here's Amelia Evans, strong spike, saved. And then Evans unable to redirect that ball. She was looking for the far sideline, didn't get it. Set point for Central. And that one sails wide. The Central Panthers take set number 2 and force a deciding third set to see who will face off against Mcnary in the Silver Bracket Championship. Stick around, the third set is coming up next here on TableRockSports.net. Welcome back, sports fans. You're watching live coverage of the Rogue Valley Classic live from North Medford High School. This is the semifinal matchup between the Ashland Grizzlies and the Central Panthers. Ashland taking set 1, 25-18. Central taking set 2, 25-22. You see on the John L. Scott scoreboard. And so that forces a deciding third set. First to 15 must win by 2 is the name of the game. And again, the winner of this match, the winner of this set, will go on to the Silver Bracket Championship game to face off against Mcnary, who looked really good in their hard-fought win over the Crater Comets.
They certainly did. Yeah, they certainly did, and Crater was a tough opponent themselves in their own respects.
Both teams have made their way back out onto the court. The Central Panthers on the left side of your screen in their road blacks. The Ashland Grizzlies on the right side of your screen in their home whites. Just waiting for the official scorer to cross all of the T's, dot all the I's. And we can get underway in this third and final set of this second semifinals match. So both semifinals, Jonathan, go to that deciding third set.
Yeah, and no team that advances to the next round is going to have any more rest than the last one, playing their full set.
Emily Cole back to serve. We're underway. And that first hit, miss hit by Ashland. All important first point goes to Central. Again, first to 15, win by 2 in this third set to see who will advance to face off against Mcnary in the championship game. Ania Farmer there on the spike and the kill for the Ashland Grizzlies. So quickly, game tied, 1-1. Back to serve for Ashland is Grace Angermeyer. First touch by Kalia Baker, and then hit over by Bellina Mezqua. Here's an opportunity for Ashland's Jessica Crane, but blocked at the front line. Bellina Mezqua and Tana Tracy, both there for the Central Panthers as they retake the lead. Checking into the game for Central is Juliette Alarcon. She'll be back to serve. There's Ania Farmer on the front lines beating Central once again.
Yeah, that's a name that we're used to hearing today.
Chase Hammock back to serve for the Grizzlies. Awkward first touch by Central. And they do just barely get it over. The ball clips the net. Nice job of recovering by Ashland. Strong spike by Gabby Heiken, but Central able to control, but a miss hit on the push by Katie Fraley. Gives Ashland their first lead here in set number 3. Hammock again the serve. Fraley the first touch. She'll get it right back. Now an opportunity for Ashland. Oh, the quick set over. Nearly caught Central off guard, but they are able to recover. And then a kill by Katie Fraley. Ties this game up at 3. Bellina Mezqua checks out. Moana Andrew checks in for the Central Panthers. Kalia Baker back to serve. First touch by Michaela Miller for Ashland. Soft touch, or correction, that was Gabby Heiken on the first touch there. A strong spike, and once again, Katie Fraley able to best the front line of the Ashland Grizzlies. They retake the lead. The score is 4-3. Kalia Baker back once again. And a short serve hits the net. Falls on the wrong side if you are a Central fan. We tie up at 4. Ania Farmer back to serve for Ashland. Here's Fraley, and a good stop on the front lines by Ashland. Now an opportunity for the Grizzlies to respond. But Central able to control it. Amelia Evans has her shot blocked, tapped back by Katie Fraley. Central with a 5-4 lead on the John L. Scott scoreboard. Back to serve for Central, Josie McDonald. First touch by Quinn Christian, and a nice dig by Emily Means, or correction, by Juliet Alarcon for Central. Pushed back by Gabby Heiken, and then sent over by Kalia Baker. Too far over the back line. Back and forth these two teams go. We are tied once again. Elena Strandberg will serve it away for Ashland. Sent over by Moana Andrew of Central. Now here comes Ashland's turn to respond. A good strike by Gabby Heiken, but controlled by Central. Katie Fraley has that one robbed by Heiken. Nice job of digging it out by the Ashland Grizzly. Rally continues. Here's Fraley again. She sends it long past the back line. Ashland retakes the lead. Soft touch by Fraley. Ashland controls it. Amelia Means hung in the air for a little bit before striking that volleyball. Here's a chance for Ashland. Oh, the soft touch. Trick play worked to perfection by Grace Angermeyer. That opens up a 2-point lead for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, expertly done there.
Stanberg again the serve. Now here's a chance for Ashland. But into the net, the strike by Gabby Heiken. No good. Point back to Central. Now Katie Fraley back to serve. There's Amelia Means. And unable to best the front line of Kennedy Cantola and Moana Andrew for Central. This game is tied at 7. And too many touches for the Ashland Grizzlies. As the ball hit the net, but was never touched by a Central Panther. And so that doesn't reset the touches. As there's a miss hit on the serve. Now Central with a 2-point lead. Fraley still back to serve. First to 15 here in this final third set. The winner will advance to face Mcnary in the championship round. Central able to recover. Diving stop. Well done by Strandberg. Ashland gets it over. Let's see how the Central respond. A nice strike by Kennedy Cantola, but handled by the Grizzlies. Amelia Evans just sends it over. Strong spike by Moana Andrew, and it beats the back line of Ashland. 10-7 Central. Timeout called by the Grizzlies. We will keep things right here. You're watching live coverage of the Rogue Valley Classic Silver Bracket semifinal game between the Ashland Grizzlies and the Central Panthers live on TableRockSports.net. And this broadcast would not be possible without the support of our presenting sponsor, Lithia Auto Superstores, located on Crater Lake Highway, and also their general manager, Jason Lawrence. You can browse online at lithiasuperstore.com and then come in and work with the outstanding staff. Say hi and thank you to Jason Lawrence if you get a chance, and our title sponsor, Lithia Auto Superstores. This broadcast is also brought to you by Bills Glass, proud sponsor of high school athletics. Bills Glass has been the industry leader and clear choice in Southern Oregon for almost 50 years, covering the full spectrum of glass from your vehicle to any room in your house. Locally owned and family run in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass. When you hear that crash, think Bills Glass. Play underway. Strong spike controlled by the Grizzlies. Gabby Hyken just sends it over. Strong spike into the back corner. No chance for the Grizzlies to try and recover. Another point to Central. Opened up a 4-point advantage and find themselves just 4 points away from punching their ticket to the championship game. Fraley the serve. Get it up for Gabby Hyken. Was the ball touched? They say no. And so it sails wide. Point to Central.
Yeah, avoided that volleyball like it was the Matrix.
This time, Amelia Evans able to best the front line of Central. It stops the bleeding, cuts the deficit to 4 for the Grizzlies. Checking into the game for Ashland, Jessica Crane. Checking out, Chase Hammock. Back to serve for Ashland is Gabby Hyken. Here's Kennedy Cantola, strong spike, dug out nicely by Elena Stramberg, and then a another well-placed quick touch by Grace Angermeyer. And that brings Ashland to within 3. Kennedy Cantola looking and finds a hole. The diving attempt by Elena Stramberg to no avail. Central now just 2 points away from the championship game. And a beautiful soft touch by Amelia Evans. Gives Ashland new life. 3-point deficit. And here we go. Quinn Christian with the serve. Central sends it up and over. That's a great hit by Kennedy Cantola. Flat-footed, but it gets the job done. And now Central with match point. After dropping the first set to Ashland, they have roared back and now find themselves 1 point away from the championship game. Ashland's head coach Laura Morris going to call time out. We will keep things right here on TableRockSports.net. This broadcast would not be possible without the support of Arby's. Before or after the game, stop in at Arby's at 41 East Stewart Avenue in Medford, where they have the meats and they mean it. Arby's at Stewart and Riverside before or after the game. Proud sponsor of Table Rock Sports. So you see on the John L. Scott scoreboard the scoring breakdown here in this semifinal match. Ashland taking set 1 25-18. Central taking set number 2 25-22. And here we are in the deciding third set. First to 15 must win by 2, and that's where Central finds themselves in the driver's seat, up 14-10 with possession. Emily Cole back to serve, hoping to send her team to the championship game against Mcnary. Low serve, Ashland able to recover. Ania Farmer sends it over. Central able to corral. And that hit by Katie Fraley sails wide past the far sideline. So Ashland now will have possession. Still find themselves down by 3, still match point for Central. Grace Angermeyer the serve. Central up with it. Kennedy Cantola. A terrific diving stop by Quinn Christian. Ashland sends it over, and now here's Central. Chance for Ashland to respond. Here's Ania Farmer off the hands of Katie Fraley. And the Grizzlies have pulled to within 2. Angermeyer with the serve. First response by the Grizzlies. There's the touch, and that is it. Ball lands on Ashland's side, and Central comes back to defeat the Grizzlies 15-12 in set number 3, and that is your final. Ladies and gentlemen, from this semifinal matchup, the Central Panthers will advance to face off against the Ashland Grizzlies. Terrific showing by both teams. Terrific showing in both semifinals games, Jonathan, but there can only be one team from each semifinal game to advance, and in this case, it is the Central Panthers.
Yeah, and they will get the opportunity to play a very good Mcnary team in the next match.
We are going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here on TableRockSports.net.
Let's go! At US Cellular, we heard you. You want a wireless plan that works for you. That's why we're giving you unlimited data for just $30 on a network ranked #1 in network quality performance. All that and no hidden fees. That's the best value in wireless. That work for you? US Cellular. Choose fair.
For the best deals in wireless on a network that works in the middle of anywhere, visit Siskiyou Cellular, your local U.S. Cellular agent. 7 locations, including Central Point off Plaza Boulevard.
The Know Your Role campaign is incredibly needed and incredibly vital and important to establish boundaries, safe boundaries for children to play.
It's got to be a proactive culture where everybody enjoys the game.
At least creates awareness that some things need to change in order for the youth sports world and even actually the adult sports world to continue.
Knowing your role means that the parent, the coach, the referee, the fans, we all have a role.
Listen up, everyone. Listen up. You know that great deal got him a new car? This is a guy from Lithia who made it all possible. Carlos.
Hey, Carlos. Hey, Carlos.
You want someone who's gonna take care of you and not just a dealership? My guy should be your guy.
Hola, Carlos.
But not for you, little sister. Thank you for coming.
Find your guy during Jeep Adventure Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford and on lithiasuperstore.com. Not a dealership, a partnership.
The days grow long, and the last school bell rings, calling you to pack a bag, grab the kids, and hit the road to that fabled land of green, where adventure drifts with you on the water and carries you through the trees. So let curiosity get the best of you and take the trail less traveled to Southern Oregon. Your journey begins when you travel Medford.
Hello. Hello and welcome, sports fans, to this live streaming event of Table Rock Sports Productions. I'm Jonathan Kerman. Alongside me is Jonathan Mcnary. We are broadcasting live from North Medford High School, the home of the Rogue Valley Classic volleyball tournament, hosted here in the Rogue Valley, featuring some of the best teams in the state. And we have for you the championship matchup of the silver bracket. It's the Central Panthers taking on the Mcnary Celtics. Once again, thank you all so much for joining us here on TableRockSports.net. This broadcast would not be possible without the support of our presenting sponsor, Lithia Auto Superstores, located on Crater Lake Highway. Say hi to General Manager Jason Lawrence and the rest of their outstanding staff. You can also browse online at lithiasuperstore.com. Once again, our title sponsor, Lithia Auto Superstore, and Siskiyou Cellular. With 7 locations located conveniently around the Rogue Valley, Siskiyou Cellular has been providing customers in Southern Oregon for a wide range of their wireless needs. For over 25 years, Siskiyou Cellular has been keeping customers connected to the people and things that matter most. Check out the latest individual, family, business, and more with the latest smartphones, tablets, hotspots, and accessories. Siskiyou Cellular, presenting sponsor of Table Rock Sports. We are just a couple minutes away from the championship game of the silver bracket between the Central Panthers and the Mcnary Celtics. We're going to step away for a quick break. We'll be right back here on TableRockSports.net.
How have you found Medford, and how's the transition been?
The whole Medford community has been incredibly welcoming and supportive, and I've loved to see how this entire community rallies around our schools. I mean, it's just such good things happening for kids all over this community. It's good stuff.
What did you see about the district that presented opportunities you're interested in, challenges maybe that you'll face here in Medford?
Yeah, a lot of great things already happening for students here in this school district. I mean, some of the work around pathways is really incredible, and opportunities for kids to get involved early on to see, am I interested in a particular field or not, and learning that is really incredible here in the district. Yep. And then we have a great board of directors who is very interested in how do we ensure that our students are ready for whatever their next step is. And we talk about having every option open for them. And so that's important too, to have a board that understands that it's got to be always about the students. And then I've gotten to know a lot of the staff here in the district, and whether they're in the classroom or coaching, or they're at central office, or frankly in cafeterias or driving a bus. These are folks who are focused on the students. And so having that opportunity to work with these adults who are so interested in ensuring that our students are successful is just a joy. And so it has been part of my very fortunate career to be able to work in districts where that's been the case, and that's certainly the case here too. And so I was very interested in doing that in a little bit different locale here in Southern Oregon, which has been a joy as well.
Excellent. Heard great things about your visits to Kids Unlimited and Logos Charter Schools.
Sure.
School is a little different as we go forward. Meeting the needs of kids, so that's a neat opportunity within the district, a new opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. So this idea of options for kids is something that is very exciting to me. We know that as adults, we like having options whenever we make choices about a variety of things, and the same should be true for our parents and for our students as well. Within a system, having opportunities for students to explore a variety of things, whether, to your point, whether it is in a different environment, a particular different school, or whether it is within our traditional schools, having options for kids is always a good thing. And frankly, it leads to a more quality education, because then the student's able to get in and experiment with some things. And it's not just finding things they love. That's exciting, of course. Yep. But equally exciting is when kids get into something and realize, I hate this. You know, I mean, how much better to discover that when you're 16?
They call that math. Right?
No. How much better to discover that you think you want to be a vet, And instead of figuring out at 26, after you've invested in all the schooling, that I don't really like this, how much better when you're 16 to say, this is gross. I don't want to deal with this. I mean, no offense to vet folks. I appreciate those guys. But again, we want to make sure that there are options for kids in a variety of places, not just high school either. One of the things we talk about, I love the staff here in the Medford School District, talking to some elementary teachers recently, this idea of making sure that students are building relationships with each other in our classrooms is so important because we're a relationship business. I mean, that's what we're all about. And so part of our work with social emotional learning and ensuring that our kids are knowing how to get along with each other, and part of that is in this whole idea of choice.
Welcome back, sports fans, to North Medford High School, the home of the Rogue Valley Classic, which features some of the best volleyball teams in the state of Oregon. And coming up for you in just a couple of minutes, the championship game of the silver bracket. It's between the Central Panthers and the Mcnary Celtics. Both teams had to go to the deciding third set in their semifinal game to reach this point. Both teams looked really good in their wins. For Mcnary over Crater, for Central over Ashland, respectively. And now they will battle head-to-head live on TableRockSports.net. I'm Jonathan Kerman. Alongside me is Jonathan McCrary. Very quickly, let's go through the rosters for both squads. First for Mcnary, coached by Crystal DeMello. Chloe Martindale, Alyssa Garvey, Maddox Snyder, Alexis Eldridge, Jasmine Zapeta, Ellie Dean, Taylor Ebbs, Zoe Warner, Chloe Deed, Madison Corp, Trinity Campstra, and Marissa Ortiz. That is your roster for the Mcnary Celtics. The first point, however, in this championship match is won by Central. The Panthers, coached by Bruce Myers, feature a roster of Emily Cole, Sydney Nash, Katie Fraley, Emily Means, Belen Amezqua, Moana Andrew, Kennedy Cantola, Tana Tracy, Josie McDonald, Kalia Baker, Grace Holstad, Alicia Pedraza, and Juliette Alarcon. Central with 3 quick points to start this championship match. Central in their road blacks, Mcnary in their home whites with blue shorts. Thank you all so much for joining us here on TableRockSports.net as we bring you live coverage of the Rogue Valley Classic. That ball touches the back line. Well done by Mcnary. They get on the board here in set number 1. Across the way on the other side of the gym is the championship game of the championship bracket. We have that game broadcasting also on TableRockSports.net.
Yeah, and the two teams playing in that game are North Medford and Ridgeview. We also got that on TableRockSports.net, as you said.
Yeah, love having the hometown team, the hosting team, make it to the championship game. Bodies on the floor for Central, and somehow they're able to survive. Then a strong spike by Mcnary's Chloe Deed puts the Celtics within 1. There was so much energy and action and ambiance and crowd noise all day today, and now that we're in the championship rounds where only 4 teams are playing, things have quieted down. They've gotten more serious.
Yeah, it's all business now as these two teams battle for first and second place in the bracket. First and third place, I should say.
Collision, a couple of Central players, but they get the job done and get it over. There's a strong spike, and it's true for Chloe Martindale. Mcnary, after dropping the first 3 points, have now won the last 4. Zoe Warner, the serve for Mcnary. On the return, Kennedy Cantola able to find a crease. And the Panthers tie this game up at 4. These broadcasts have been brought to you all day long by our presenting sponsors, Lithia Auto Superstores and Siskiyou Cellular. Also by John L. Scott Real Estate, Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass, My Circle K, Colvin Oil, Arby's, Oral and Maxillofacial surgery, and what a terrific play by Mcnary's Madison Corp to keep this rally alive. There's Taylor Ebbs, soft touch over, sent up by Juliet Alarcon, sent over by Katie Fraley, and down. Central retakes the lead, 5-4.
Yeah, and Central not backing down from this experienced Mcnary team. 2 championship caliber teams playing right now. Certainly seeing the effort from both.
Here's Emily Means on the return for Central, and then the response, miss hit by McNary's Chloe Martindale, gives Central a 2-point lead. Back to serve for the Panthers, Juliet Alarcon. Soft touch by Taylor Ebbs, snuffed out by the Central Panthers, but Katie Fraley unable to get the ball over the net. Point and possession to McNary. Back to serve for the Celtics, Alexis Eldridge, the sophomore. Miss hit, and the ball just quite doesn't have enough on it to get over the net. Point and possession back to Central. Kalia Baker the serve. A couple awkward touches for McNary, but they get the job done. Here comes Katie Fraley, sending it too far down the near sideline. Out of bounds, McNary with the point and possession. 7-6, Central on top. You see on the John L. Scott scoreboard. Ellie Dean will check into the game for McNary and take over to serve. A response by Katie Fraley, who is such an integral part of Central's come-from-behind win over Crater. As there's a strong spike from Taylor Ebbs. The Central Panthers unable to hold off. And we are tied at 7. Diving stop by Julia Alarcon for Central keeps this rally alive. The point, however, won by McNary. They take an 8-7 lead. And quickly, a blink of an eye, a 2-point lead for McNary here early. 9-7 on the John L. Scott scoreboard. Ellie Dean, the first touch for McNary. Taylor Ebbs sends it over and then finds a hole on the near sideline. Excellent touch by Ebbs. Ellie Dean with the serve. And that sails wide out of bounds. Point and possession to Central. Again, you're watching live action of the Silver Bracket Championship game between the Mcnary Celtics and the Central Panthers. Josie McDonald with the serve. And a strong spike by Maddox Snyder. Corralled by Central. Well done by the Panthers. Julia Alarcon will send it over too far. Wide off the back sideline. 3-point lead for McNary and possession. 11-8 the score on the John L. Scott scoreboard. Taylor Ebbs with the serve. Dug out by Kalia Baker. And then a soft touch, a diving save. Terrific dig by Zoe Warner. Central looking for the response, and they get it. On the kill, Moana Andrew for the Panthers. 11-9, Central trailing. They have possession. Back to serve is Katie Fraley. Fraley, just a sophomore on this Panthers team, and has been one of the most important players on this team. She dives for that ball there, but it's unsuccessful. Mcnary retakes possession and a 3-point lead as Marissa Ortiz will check into the game for the Celtics. And a poor first touch by Central gives Mcnary the largest lead of this championship match, 13-9. Best of 3 in this championship series. First to 25 must win by 2. If this game does go to a third and deciding set, that game will go to 15, must win by 2. And another poor first hit by Central. Mcnary celebrating that. And a timeout called by the Panthers. They trail 14-9. You see on the John L. Scott scoreboard. Doctors James Savage and Rajiv Rajagopal are happy to welcome Dr. Brian Clevenger to the Associates for Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery. Their offices in Medford, Grants Pass, and Klamath Falls practice a full scope of services from corrective jaw surgery to wisdom teeth removal and much more. For more information or to schedule a complimentary dental implant consultation, call 541-779-3781. And then after you get your teeth checked out, your mouth checked out by Dr. James Savage, Dr. Rajagopal, and Dr. Brian Clevenger, stop into Arby's at 41 East Stewart Avenue in Medford, where they have the meats, and they mean it. This Mcnary team, they mean business as well. As play resumes, they have a 14-9 lead here in set number 1 of the championship game. Strong spike by Zoe Warner, controlled by Central. And on the touch, the ball hangs on the net for a half second, falls on the Mcnary sideline. They get it over. And then they're beating the front line. Kennedy Cantola with the kill for Central.
Central will serve, but that one hits the front of the net. Point Mcnary.
Oh, Mcnary is too good, Jonathan, to be giving them free points, especially in this championship game where you know every player is locked in. Back to serve for the Celtics. The freshman, Madison Corp, just does sneak it over the net, but a chance for Mcnary on the response. Strong spike by Zoe Warner. Another kill for the Mcnary senior.
Yeah, and this is one team you really don't want to dig a hole against. Senior and junior experience all around. Short stoppage.
Corp back to serve again for the Celtics. An awkward first touch for Central, and another point. And another celebration for the Celtics. Let's see if the Panthers can respond. Weak touch over the net gives Mcnary an opportunity. But now a chance for Central. Strong spike, it hits home. Kennedy Cantola for the Panthers. Stops the bleeding. The score is now 17-11. Checking into the game for Central is Emily Means. Back to serve for the Panthers is Emily Cole. Mcnary's response. Strong strike. Panthers able to recover. And a beautiful soft touch by Chloe Deed gets the job done. lead back up to 7. You see on the John L. Scott scoreboard. Back to serve for McNary, Zoe Warner.
Those celebrations have been on point for McNary tonight. Something tells me they practiced those.
And they've had a lot of reason to celebrate. McNary, as they get beat that time, played so well in pool play this morning. They earned themselves a first-round bye in the silver bracket. Possession to Central. Juliet Alarcon back to serve. Ball sent up into the air. Strong spike, but into the net by Taylor Ebbs. Point to Central. Alarcon again. An opportunity for McNary, and they get it done. Chloe Deed with the kill.
Yeah, that one just inside, very close to the line, but it pays off for McNary.
Alexis Eldridge checks into the game to serve for the Celtics. Eldridge, the sophomore, sends it up and over. Miss hit first touch, but Central able to recover. And let's see what McNary does here. There's a sweet first touch. Boy, Taylor Ebbs kind of decided mid-motion, the way that ball was being set to her, there was no way she's going to get a chance to spike it. And so instead,
soft touch,
kept her feet on the ground, and it got the job done. A miss hit on the first touch for Central. McNary within 4 of taking set number 1 in this championship game. Eldridge again back to serve.
Yeah, and we'll give you an update on that North Medford Ridgeview game as soon as we get it. As soon as we take a break here, I'll pull up the score.
Terrific diving stop by Eldridge. This point stays alive, but not for long. Chloe Martindale mishits at the net. Point and possession to Central. Well, I just saw the score, 24-22 in the championship bracket championship game, North Medford against Ridgeview. That game is broadcasting live on Table Rock Sports as well. Wouldn't blame you if you wanted to switch over. You can also, well, maybe you can try split screening. You know, one app, one device. You have your phone to watch one game. You can use your tablet, your smart PC, smart TV, anything.
Always a good option for those hardcore sports fans.
Point earned by Central.
And with the new TableRockSports.net website, you can watch all the games at the same
That's
time.
true. That's right. Yeah, just go to TableRockSports.net. You can watch all of the live games going on all at once. Strong spike by McNary, too strong. Couple of points for Central. They are starting to gain some momentum, now down by just 5.
Yeah, we have that cool control center now with all the games.
It's all part of Table Rock Sports' new streaming platform on YouTube. A serve by Central clips the net, falls on the McNary side, and the Celtic lead is 4. Serving for Central, that's Kalia Baker. Opportunity for McNary. A good stop on the front lines by Central. Katie Fraley able to win the point. And the Panthers roaring back. Now down by only 3. You see as there's the strong spike. Well done. Placed perfectly on the back line by Maddox Snyder for McNary. But you see the energy level and the movement, I guess, is the maybe not the right nomenclature, but both of these teams have played probably 5 or 6 volleyball matches over the course of today. And so which team will have the most endurance? Which team will limit the mental mistakes as McNary makes one right there to give it back to Central?
Yeah.
Which team has the mental toughness and the physical strength and endurance to outlast their opponent, because everyone's tired right now. And
definitely.
it's
They've
apparent.
been playing games all day long, but
oh, and oh my goodness, nearly a spectacular save by Maddie Korp. Laid her hand flat on the hardwood. That was the only amount of space she had to get under the volleyball, but her teammates unable to pick it up. 22-20, the score on the John L. Scott scoreboard in set number 1 here on court number 3, the home of the silver bracket of the Rogue Valley Classic. Broadcasting live here on TableRockSports.net from North Medford High School. Looks like the first set ended in the championship game of the championship bracket happening over on court number 1. That game broadcasting live on TableRockSports.net as well. But right now, everyone looking at the John L. Scott scoreboard here on court number 3. 22-20, Mcnary over Central, but Central with possession. Josie McDonald with the serve for Crater, but on the front lines, it's Mcnary that comes away with the point. Now we're within 2 of taking this first set. Taylor Ebbs back to serve for the Celtics. Opportunity for Fraley. Little bop and put right into no man's land. Terrific effort by number 6, Ellie Dean, for Mcnary to dive for that ball, but to no avail. Lead back down to 2. Katie Fraley will serve for Central. Here's Mcnary. Controlled by the Panthers. Quick touch over. A chance for the Celtics, and a beautiful set by Maddie Korp. We saw that a lot in the semifinal game against Crater, Jonathan. Maddie Korp doing a lot, and really veteran savvy plays for a freshman on the volleyball court.
Yeah, and we have another timeout already. That'll give us a good chance to take a break.
Set point for Mcnary here in set number 1, best of 3. They lead 24-21, you see on the John L. Scott scoreboard. Bills Glass is proud to be a sponsor of high school athletics. Bills Glass has been the industry leader and clear choice in Southern Oregon for almost 50 years, covering the full spectrum of glass from your vehicle to any room in your house. Locally owned, family run, Bills Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass. When you hear that crash, think Bills Glass. Mcnary with possession. Marissa Ortiz back to serve. Set point for the Celtics. But a strong spike and a kill by Kennedy Cantola for the Panthers. Possession back to Central. Moana Andrew back to serve. Here's a chance for Mcnary. Zoe Warner perfectly placed for the 25th point. Set number 1 goes to Mcnary. Stick around. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, set number 2 in the Silver Bracket Championship game of the Rogue Valley Classic. You're watching it all live on TableRockSports.net.
Circle K is your on-the-go tailgate headquarters. Whether it's a home game or a road game, when you need a big play, call on My Circle K. From their always fresh premium brewed coffee, ice-cold fountain drinks and sodas, fresh made-for-travel deli items. When it comes to special teams, nothing is more special than My Circle K's Kickback Reward Program. Rewards every purchase, every time. Find them, follow them, throw a tailgate party with them. MyCircleK.com.
Listen up, everyone. Listen up. You know that great deal got him a new car? This is the guy from Lithia who made it all possible, Carlos.
Hey, Carlos. Hey, Carlos.
You want someone who's gonna take care of you and not just a dealership? My guy should be your guy.
Hola, Carlos.
But not for you, little sister. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Find your guide during Jeep Adventure Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford and on lithiasuperstore.com. Not a dealership, a partnership.
This year, don't just replace your windows, renew them with beautiful and energy-efficient windows from Bill's Glass. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home or auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 40 years. Bill's Glass in Ashland and Medford, and now Bill's Glass in Grants Pass.
Welcome back, sports fans. Second set of the championship game of the Silver Bracket here at North Medford High School, the home of the Rogue Valley Classic. Thank you all so much for joining us here on TableRockSports.net. I'm Jonathan Kerman. Alongside me, Jonathan Mcnary. We've been bringing you action all day long from court number 3, the home of the Silver Bracket. But all of our work, all of the effort that these players have put forth on this hardwood floor comes down to right now. And the first point of set number 2, a miss hit on the initial touch after the serve. And the first point goes to Central. Mcnary defeated Central 25-22 in set number 1, you see on the John L. Scott scoreboard. And then quickly Mcnary with the response. Chloe Deed, a strong spike in the back right corner. Back to serve for Mcnary is Zoe Warner. Low serve, and it gets down. Mcnary side fired up about that. Every point so critical in this best of 3 championship match. Central looking for the response. They have it now, the return by Mcnary. A nice soft touch by Taylor Ebbs, but controlled by Central. Job well done by the Panthers. Another opportunity for Mcnary, and this time the strong stuff works for Taylor Ebbs. Three to 1 in favor of Mcnary here in set number 2. Warner once again back to serve.
Yeah, and I think that was the first time tonight that we saw them try the power move, usually using their soft touch.
(4-1) now the score after the miss hit on the return. Warner with the serve. Sending it over is Katie Fraley. A lot of pace on that one. Another strong spike, another job well done by Maddox Snyder on the back line for Mcnary. And then on the front lines, it's Mcnary who wins that battle. 5-1 the score. Celtics on top of the Panthers. You see the score on the John L. Scott scoreboard. Warner again with the serve. Sent over by Kennedy Cantola of Central. On the return, well done. Perfectly placed by Chloe Martindale. Chloe was a big catalyst and a big factor in Mcnary's win over Crater in the semifinals. Making her presence felt here in set number 2. 6-1 lead in favor of Mcnary. Warner the serve. Low line drive that Central unable to handle. Lead is now 7-1. The Panthers looking for a response. And fortunate for them, the ball sails just past the far sideline. Borderline call, the officials right on top of the action. So Central wins the point and now has the serve. Juliet Alarcon, the sophomore, will do the honors. Here's Taylor Ebbs, and the soft touch burns her that time. Didn't get enough on it to get it over the net. Score now 7-3.
Yeah, and a couple fortunate bounces here for Central to get themselves back in the game. Will need more from their offense if they're going to keep this momentum, though.
And they're getting it right now. Another miss hit by Mcnary leads to a point lost. Just a 3-point lead for the Celtics. Panthers Alarcon with the serve. Set by Court. Strong spike. And saved once, twice. What a job well done by the Central Panthers.
And they had to run almost all the way out of the gym to get that ball.
The rally continues. Here's Martindale. The soft touch works that time.
Still very impressive by both teams to keep that play going. Seen a lot of great volleyball today.
Alexis Eldridge back to serve. On the response, Katie Fraley. Handled by Mcnary, and a beautiful shot by Taylor Ebbs for the Celtics. Don't have to do too much. You don't have to overpower your opponent. Just hit it where they ain't. Yeah. Perfectly placed ball by Ebbs that time.
Just keeping it simple is what has gotten Mcnary this far.
Poorly timed miss hit for Central. 10-4 the score on the John L. Scott scoreboard. Eldridge, the sophomore, will send this one away. Katie Fraley airmails that one. Now a 7-point lead for Central, the largest of the game. But Eldridge on the serve, can't get it over the net. They concede the point and possession back to Central.
Lead for Mcnary, rather.
Right, yes, thank you.
11-5 at the moment.
Kalia Baker with the serve. On the response, Maddox Snyder unable to best the front line of Central. 11-6, Mcnary on top. You see on the John L. Scott scoreboard. Baker with the serve. Nice dig out by Taylor Ebbs. Central, see if they respond. No, miss hit. Gives the point and possession back to Mcnary. Substitution for the Celtics. Checking out of the game, Chloe Martindale. Checking in, Ellie Dean. Dean is back to serve. Dean up with it. And here's the Central response. Strong spike by Fraley, but handled well by Zoe Warner, and then a terrific soft touch. We see it again, paying dividends for Mcnary.
And what great body control. Changed the trajectory of the ball midair.
A strong spike and a kill. Moana Andrew for the Central Panthers. That will give them possession. 13-7 the score on the John L. Scott scoreboard. Checking into the game for Central is Josie McDonald. She is back to serve. And a wise decision by the Mcnary back line to let the ball sail. Lands out of bounds. Point and possession back to the Celtics. Taylor Ebbs to serve. Low line drive. No one there on the receiving end for Central.
Yeah, and the way that looked in the air, it might have gone out of bounds, but hits in bounds and they get a point out of it.
8-point advantage for Mcnary. Ebbs on the serve. And once again, Central unable to return. Chance for Mcnary to respond. Strong strike by Zoe Warner. And right now Mcnary turning on the Jets. They've pushed the lead to double figures. 17-7 the score on the John L. Scott scoreboard.
And the first double-figure lead we've had tonight in many close games, if I'm not mistaken.
And another serve won by Mcnary. 18-7 now the score.
And they are pushing tempo and not holding back here as they have the lead, which is key to sealing up the victory.
And Central right now just having difficulty returning serves. Mcnary happily will take advantage.
And as you mentioned earlier, the fatigue may be taking place right now with these teams playing games all day long.
5, 6, maybe 7 games. Mcnary did, because they performed so well in their pool, they did earn a first-round bye, and that may be playing a big factor late in this tournament.
Yeah.
Alexis Eldridge with a terrific stop on the back line. Taylor Ebb sends it over for Mcnary. Here's a chance for Central to respond. Katie Fraley, the soft touch, a taste of McNary's own medicine. It stops the bleeding and gives Central the point and possession, but they still find themselves down by 11.
Mcnary also had that big break because we had the Crater game earlier in our broadcast. But you still have to play the match if you're both teams.
You know, and Jonathan, that's a great observation as the ball's blocked up into the air. An opportunity for Jasmine Zepeda to send it over. A terrific diving stop on the other end for McNary. That was Katie Fraley on the back line for the Panthers. Ball being batted around, both teams working for it. Josie McDonald sends it over, a strong spike. That sails wide by McNary, point to Central. I didn't think about that, Jonathan, but you're right. Central just finished their semifinal game a few minutes before starting this one. McNary had the earlier game slate, and so they had the entire match that Central had against Ashland to rest up, get ready.
And it was a 3-set match, so quite a bit of time to rest in that one.
The score is 22-9, you see on the John L. Scott scoreboard. McNary trying to close this one out. They are 5 points away from a silver bracket championship here at the Rogue Valley Classic. Ball sent over. Now an opportunity for McNary. A couple of players hit the deck. Ball still in play. Saved by Ebbs. Another strong spike. And a net violation called against McNary. Still double digits, however, as the Panthers are in dire straits, going to have to put together a miraculous run here.
But as we've seen time and again, maybe not impossible, crawl back in some of these games as long as you put together the right game plan.
Moana Andrew back to serve for Central. Ball returned back on one touch by McNary. Terrific block, but it lands out of bounds. Point to Central. Then Moana Andrew unable to get that serve over the net, and every self-induced error backbreaking for the Central Panthers in this junction of the match.
Yeah, when you're under 5 points until the end of the match, every point counts.
Every mistake magnified. Terrific block on the front lines for McNary. Chloe Martindale and Chloe Deed getting it done. Chloe's on patrol for the Celtics. They are within 3 points of a silver bracket championship. Maddie Korp with the serve, however, and it lands in the net. 22-12 the score you see on the John L. Scott scoreboard. Back to serve for Central is Emily Cole. Here's Chloe Deed on the return. Central able to respond, and the ball lands in play.
Wow, and just like that, several points in a row for Central. Going to need a lot more of that.
Yep, still a 9-point deficit. Got to take it 1 point at a time. Marissa Ortiz, the first touch for Mcnary, and then that ball gets spiked into the net. Lead is down to 8. And another serve into the net for Central.
And those errors just hurt. You got 2 of them, 2 runs by a Central end due to a server error.
Now Jasmine Zepeda is back to serve for Mcnary. 1 point away from match point. Here we go.
We'd like to thank you again for watching this broadcast on Table Rock Sports.
Marissa Ortiz, the terrific defensive effort, and that leads to the Mcnary point. Match point, championship point for the Mcnary Celtics. Back to serve, Jasmine Zepeda.
And it may come down to this.
Central down to their last breath. Ortiz with the save. Quick spike. Saved once, twice, and that will do it. The Mcnary Celtics defeat the Central Panthers in 2 sets to win the Silver Bracket Championship at the Rogue Valley Classic. Congratulations to the Mcnary Celtics and to all of the teams for their wonderful effort and performance today. But only one could come out on top, and it was Mcnary. They are your 2019 Silver Bracket Rogue Valley champions. Chloe Martindale, Alyssa Garvey, Maddox Snyder, Alexis Eldridge, Jasmine Zepeda, Ellie Dean, Taylor Ebbs, Zoe Warner, Chloe Deed, Madison Corp, Trinity Campstra, and Marissa Ortiz, coached by Crystal DeMello, your 2019 Rogue Valley Classic Silver Bracket champions. For Jonathan McCrary, I am Jonathan Kerman saying so long from North Medford High School. This has been Table Rock Sports coverage of the Silver Bracket of the Rogue Valley Classic. Still airing the championship game in the championship bracket, where the host team, North Medford, is up now 22-19 over visiting Ridgeview. We have that game broadcasting live on TaylorRockSports.net, so head on over, check out the end of that exciting finish and all of our great action that we cover here on TableRockSports.net. Thank you for making us a part of your Saturday afternoon. We'll catch you next time.